good control and hoping for a good disruptor hit. So we will see how Classic does here today.
Yeah, and here he is in the top right. It's Twisted Classic.
And in the bottom left, he used to be known as the cheesiest man alive. It's GuMiho. He upped his game, man. He was like, you know what? I'm tired of being known only for cheese.
Well,
I'm 100% going to get my late game going. I'm going to go ahead and send an SCP across the map and proxy sometimes. But my late game is very strong, and we will see.
yeah, GuMiho does have really good depth these days.
He does. He used to be known as the guy, like, he was just going to cheese you, and if it didn't work, he was in trouble. Like, he very, very rarely was like, I'm just going to open up standard and try to get to late game with anything. And then he apparently just really worked his butt off and got really good at, you know, macro games, late games, mid game, timing pushes, things like that. Now he's as good as a Terran player as anybody else right now. So, but, you know, you got to go back to your roots at some point and get this proxy down. And Classic's looking for it. He is actively, this probe is looking for this thing and not going to find it at all. So Probe's going to come on in, though, and recognize that there's not a barracks coming up inside the main base, and there's not a command center. So the warning bell should be going off in his head. This is why you probe scout, ladies and gentlemen, so that when you're playing against GuMiho, you know there's a proxy coming before that first Reaper hits you.
Yeah, very important. The Zealot is now on the way, the Cyber Core. Prior to that, we'll see if he does let the Zealot finish or not, if it is just a single Reaper. Having that faster Cyber Core before the Nexus is the critical part of defending this.
100%. And he's got a factory coming up real fast. So I don't know if GuMiho's planning on like a Widow Mine drop on the follow-up here, but a one base, it looks like a 1-1-1 build to me with the double gas and the factory, and he's going to throw down, nope, just floating the barracks back to base, and the Reaper is going to show up a little bit earlier than usual, but should not get too much done. A Stalker is already on the way here, so that's why we scout.
Yeah, let's see. Can that Reaper get a probe kill? The single probe kill, but the Reaper, I think, is going to go down, so that is big for Classic.
Yeah, and I mean, that's honestly, proxying racks like that, you're really hoping for more than a single kill. So GuMiho's got to be disappointed with that one. But well done by Classic, man. Looking great. Cyclone's on the way from GuMiho. Second base coming in quite nicely here at the natural base. And what is this? Classic. Classic.
Yeah.
Are you proxy gating over here? Are you going for some like crazy 4-gate warp thing?
He's already in a really great spot, getting a delay on that command center.
But Cyclone's sort of the answer to everything, so...
They're good. They're not as tanky as they used to be, so we see GuMiho have to pull an SCV to repair this. It's already getting very low, though, as it does lose the fight with the Stalker, and it may actually perish. It's going to be close.
Oh.
No!
Oh, it's going to die, though! Oh! 15 hit points, Cyclone, 2 kills. What a boss.
Yeah, the command center gets delayed again, though, and Classic brings in another Stalker. Gonna start poking, deny that Cyclone from going down there and guarding it. We do have a second one out, though, so that will drastically improve things for the Terran. Now, they may have improved for a moment, but they could be getting a lot worse here as that gateway finishes up.
We've got the fast warps now. There's a gateway on this pylon. So there is a robo coming up back home from Classic. Might try to get some immortals out potentially, but for now, it looks like it's going to be a... How many warp gates are there? Really just 3 warp gate play, and just walking up. Cyclone down. This might be just the end of it for GuMiho.
Yeah, I think GuMiho is just a dead nerd in this. Classic just checkmated GuMiho.
Yep, sure did. That second base is not going to get saturated at any point. 1 Cyclone against this many Stalkers. There will be more Stalkers coming as 3 more are warping in on that production tab. The second base is nothing. 34 to 28 workers here. Classic is on 1 base at 4.5 minutes. Not where you want to be. Stalker count getting a little bit insane on the back end of it. He is firing up an OBS. He's a little bit worried about, I'm guessing, Widow Mines at this point, but that doesn't seem to be on the menu here at all. Yeah, I mean... GuMiho sitting here on 1 base, just like he can't leave. He can't leave his base. He's going to try to get some Marines out, some Marauders to counter these guys, but there's a Robo Bay coming up back home. His second base is just not happening, and I do not see a path forward here in game 1.
Yeah, he's
really
not dead yet, but he's in a very rough position.
It just came down to the scout. It really did. Classic sending that probe across as early as he did, recognizing it was a proxy of some kind, dealing with that proxy Reaper so effectively. Man, he could force field this ramp too. Oh man,
Yeah,
that would
the
suck.
sentry is the icing on the cake. He's just waiting for GuMiho to step down. This is why GuMiho isn't comfortable doing anything until he has Medivacs to support this bio army. Otherwise, the Stalkers would just kite and kite and kite. Stim's done in a second. The Medivacs are out. We'll see if GuMiho can say wipe this Protoss army. Maybe he'll be able to make something happen. The Medivacs are going to unload this army. Classic is repositioning, though. GuMiho is so lucky there is no blink in this game. The Medivacs are going to unload all these units, and there is no blink, so these Stalkers are quite committed.
They are. They wipe out one of the Medivacs, cutting the Medivac count in half, which is problematic. GuMiho going for it. There's a Colossus coming in back home. Chrono boosting that would be a good idea. One Colossus would do a wonderful job at dealing with this pretty heavy Marine comp. Cyclones, and there is a Marauder here too. Third base for Classic. I think he might just sack it, but it's so almost done.
I think he'll save it with this Colossus. We'll see, though. The 3 Cyclones do add a lot of tankiness to this army. GuMiho microing as well as he can, trying to get a great concave against this Protoss army. The Marauders are doing well against the Stalkers. Zealot and a couple probes are buffering, though, and I think the Terran army is just going to run out of steam here. It's going to be close. Oh, miss micro by Classic for a second. Actually costs him the Colossus.
He does lose it, but there's not a lot here from GuMiho, but he has more reinforcements coming in here all the time. Another Colossus on the way, warping in 3 more Stalkers. I don't know if trying to save this third base is what you want to do, but he's going for it, man. GuMiho's micro has been out of this world, man. And look at this. Medivac micro here lifting, dropping, Cyclone getting picked up. Another Colossus shows up. Extended Thermal Lance is 13 seconds away from completion.
Oh my
gosh. It's going to be a big deal. Marauder hits the micro on this Medivac is insane.
Yeah.
Look at these Stalkers trying to warp in, not getting warped in at all. 11 probes have died. It's still 46 to 33 workers. There's a bit of an all-in here from GuMiho. Though he does have the second base. That Medivac heal
This is ridiculous.
Insane on that Marauder. What a game 1 this has been. Colossus goes down. Probes are fighting. Another Colossus is on the way. The probe fighting against the Marauder is absolutely hilarious. And
oh,
no.
The battery gets canceled.
It does. More Stalkers are here. Another Colossus is going to join this party momentarily. He does have the extended Thermal Lance upgrade, and now we're going to have to do some of the more of that fancy micro stuff, boosting into the main base to cause Classic some more issues here.
He's got
GuMiho,
nothing.
You madman.
Absolutely nothing for the Protoss to defend. He's got a warp in the main, but he's strapped for cash. He is defending that third and keeping it alive for now. But man, that was ridiculous. That Marauder and that Medivac has got 12 kills last I checked, and it's probably a couple more than that. That is just nuts by GuMiho.
Absolutely bonkers. He has a third base behind this the whole time, not even close to all in. And yeah, Matt, that was some strange Colossus micro for sure out of Classic. Kind of fell apart there with that second Colossus for sure. 3 Colossus is about the magic number that you want here, but it's tanks and it's Marauders and it's Cyclones and it's a lot of anti-Colossus stuff coming in here from GuMiho. Marine count is not particularly heavy because of shells on the way, Vikings being added in. No Marines in the production tab. Nope, he just fired up 2 more Marines, so he does want a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard to believe that GuMiho has made a game out of this. After having his main base denied for so long, losing workers and Cyclones to the Stalkers, that was just such a good push.
I cannot believe how effective it was. If he'd killed that third base, it might have been a position for him to win the game, but third base survives. Worker count is still 63 to 53. I know mules are good for GuMiho here, but it's going to be hard to overcome that. Charge is on the way from Classic, and we're just kind of moving into a, I'm not going to say it's a standard mid-game, but
this is, he's only got like 2 Stalkers and 2 Colossus. Classic is getting risky moving out. He does have the Observer for the vision, and he does have Psystorm being chrono boosted out now.
Yeah, he sees what he's dealing with here. Doesn't quite have enough to deal with it. Charge, a big deal. Storm's a big deal coming in on that production tab from Classic as well. Warp Prism, going to try some shenanigans on over here. We'll see if he wants to warp in some of those charge lots, maybe waiting for that charge upgrade to come in before he goes in. I like that. Classic getting a 4th base down that right side. Pretty standard expansion timings here, but yeah, siege tanks, marauders, Vikings. Kind of abandoning Colossus here sure seems like a good idea for Classic. High Templar and Storm going to be a little bit better in this situation. Zealot's going to be great against a Marauder tank heavy composition, especially if they have charge, and they do.
Yeah, now we're seeing that backstab by Classic. He saw the Terran's army move out, knowing that the window is open for this. GuMiho taken by surprise, when I really don't think he should be, by the presence of a prism. But he still will clean this up, it looks like, with the Viking getting on top of that prism. Had to lose 8 workers, though, as the price for being out of position.
And he's back down to being about 10 workers down compared to Classic here. Storm is done. Charge is done. I think Classic has the pieces he wants. I like it, man. Storm and Zealots against this really heavy Marauder Viking kind of a thing. High Templar ready to toss storms down on you. Good split. Pretty good split there. Bruising up those Vikings with that storm is really good stuff. GuMiho says, I'm going to siege these tanks up. The further away the siege is on the tanks, the better it's going to be here for Classic.
Yeah, now that choke point on Alcyone is a little bit nasty. We're seeing Classic try and get damage done on GuMiho's side of the map. Looks like he gets 7 SCVs already, potentially a Marauder or 2, and even more workers. It's just SCVs fighting those Zealots.
13 more go down, but this army, this concave, but the storm is a good kind of way to handle a concave, man. Shield better overcharge does get popped, keeps that Colossus alive against the Viking attacks. Zealots are free. Oh, that Zealot just needs to be attacked by a couple SCVs. He has so little HP, but they do not know what's going on. GuMiho's attention is not back home enough.
Yeah, he cleans it up, but it almost seems he's taken too much damage on his side of the map to play this game out. He needs to get a kill on Classic. The tanks are good, but there's 4 Immortals on the map to counter this. The Colossus have been kept alive due to the battery overcharge, and GuMiho has got a heck of a tough push to make happen right now. He's trying to bully Classic as much as possible. More Psy Storms going down, cleaning up all but 2 of the last Vikings. Look like they may get one of the Colossus. No, not quite.
Yeah, Viking gets picked off there. Nicely done. Classic up 67 to 40 workers. The longer this persists, the better it is for our Protoss player. Charge lots, again, against these Marauders. Super good. Tank positioning has been really annoying, though.
Yeah, the tank positioning has been great. As far as AoE goes, Classic also has no more High Templar, so he's not going to be able to just storm this bio. It's all going to be on the Zealots, the Immortals, and the Archons, and he has a lot of those, so we'll see if he's able to make this happen. He's pulling the trigger. Tanks are shooting. The bio can kite back, though, and GuMiho is doing just that so far. It's a lot of damage getting output by these Protoss units, though. GG. Classic does end up taking it.
Whew. I mean, GuMiho made a game of it. I thought for sure Classic was in a position to win that thing after the first 5 minutes or so, but GuMiho was like, nah, man, I'm not dead until I am dead. He was the aggressor. He was the one who was out there pushing on that third base, almost taking it down, can't quite pull it off, and then from there, it's a desperate defense at that third base with the counterattack of the charge lots on the other side, and Classic's able to get game 1 here, maybe trying to avenge that GSL Season 3 loss back in 2023.
Okay, so our next map is going to be Oceanborn.
Oceanborn.
I commentated for about 2 minutes there with my retainer in.
Oh, nice.
I just got my braces off, and I was like, I'm supposed to wear a retainer.
Like all the time?
All the time for a month. But it's like, okay, this is not working, so.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, when I got my braces off, you know, back in 1997, they were like, you can wear your retainer at night. And I was like, okay. And then I did that for like maybe a month and then never did again.
Ah.
It worked out, though. My teeth are still good. Still
yeah,
straight.
nice.
All right. Classic. Man, what a game 1 that was. Top left of Oceanborn. It is Cloud9 Gaming's GuMiho.
And in the bottom right, it's Classic. If you guys have any feedback on the stream, that is more than welcome. Make sure to go ahead and click that like button on the stream. Give the channel a follow. and make your SOOP account if you haven't already. Or I'm going to take your username.
He's not bluffing either. He'll do it.
Okay, so Classic scouting out after that cheese in game number 1. However, he's got nothing to worry about as GuMiho is building things where they belong.
I mean, belong is a strong word. But yes, where we would expect them to be if you're not being a cheesy Terran player like GuMiho can be. So yeah, like I said, Colossus, man, we didn't get any disruptors in the last game, but charge lots were a big part of it. The Stalker is really good, and then the Storm was the splash damage, the secondary splash damage that Classics decided to go for, and it really paid off for him, dividends.
Yeah, it really did. Classic's composition at the end there was just monstrous. And in the end, though, it really was the Zealot harassment that put GuMiho in the position that he had to win the game there. And it's just hard to believe a Terran got surprised by a Prism backstab when he moved out, so...
Yeah, I mean, that... I always say it, but man, everybody hates a big charge lot warping in your base. Protoss Terrans they're all agreed on that one thing. It is so hard to deal with. The Zealots take so long to die. They do so much damage. And yeah, so many SCVs fell to that was really the thing that got Classic that win. If it wasn't for that Zealot counterattack and GuMiho's economy as healthy as he'd like it to be, then I think that's maybe a loss.
I like this opening.
For the Protoss, yeah?
From GuMiho, the double Reaper with the Hellion that gives Terran a lot of early game map control. And so it kind of flips things around on the Protoss. They're used to moving out with their Adepts, with their Stalkers in the early game. Whereas all of a sudden, if you poke too far forward with that Adept, you can just lose it. And I think that's what we're going to see from Classic. GuMiho's got to micro that injured Reaper so he doesn't lose it. But this Adept could be in trouble. Looks like it will get... Ooh. Oh my gosh, it gets a Reaper and it gets away for now.
That's so good. Another Adeptus here. Oracle, too, can be really good against this early aggressive stuff. Yeah, I've been seeing this more often from Protoss players, or from Terran players in TVP, excuse me. Where, yeah, they're going for multiple Hellions, multiple Reapers, and it's like, well, but Stalkers just kind of counter all of this. And then if the Protoss opens with an Oracle, then it's like, oh, well, none of this can shoot up.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting, like... For starters, GuMiho should not have lost that Reaper, and he probably should have killed the Adept. And then all of a sudden, he would have been able to bully the Protoss, potentially kill the second Adept, or force out the Pulsar Beam from the Oracle. Instead, now it gets to move across the map. GuMiho's going to have to watch his back because of that. He's got 2 Cyclones on the way with a Medivac in tow. And he's just going for a push, but this Oracle's coming in unopposed. Fresh Mule.
Gosh, get the mule, get the mule, get the mule easy. Mule down. That's 300 energy gone. SCVs are dying. GuMiho's not coming back to save these guys.
No.
He is pushing.
It's a bad feeling as Terran when your only option to save your SCVs is to run them and pray the Oracle runs out of energy. Now we're going to see if GuMiho can get some counter damage done. I mean, he's got a tank and 4 Marines, but there's another Oracle waiting, a Stalker warping in, and a Phoenix about to finish up as well. There's not enough anti-air to deal with the Oracle, not enough to deal with the Protoss units on the ground. GuMiho has had a terrible opening here.
That's 2 games in a row, or it's kind of like, you know, Classic is ahead. First 5 minutes, I'd say, have gone to the Protoss player, and that's not what you want to do in a game like this.
Oh,
in
by
a series
far.
like this. By the way, Raven and Interference Matrix is coming in here from GuMiho pretty
early.
Yeah,
he's planning something, getting ready to just go all in on the Cyclone Raven attack, it seems, and I don't hate it after how bad this opening was. Whether Classic will expect it, that is a different question.
Indeed. Catching somebody by surprise is a very important skill to have in StarCraft.
The tank is not sieged. In comes the Protoss player, going to try and bully a little bit. Sees the 2 Cyclones. He has yet to identify that it is Ravens, that it is Interference Matrix. If he does, he'll probably go home. Instead, Classic is going to commit on into this. Oracle's killing the Marines. In comes the rest of the Cyclones and the Raven, though, and all of a sudden, Classic is heading on home.
Yeah, he's like, that is way too many Cyclones and Siege Tanks. Thank you very much. Oracle's getting in the mineral line again. What's up, Phoenix? Hello, SOOP. Ugh, Cyclones really good against Oracles. One of them gets wiped out. GuMiho pushing with the Cyclones, with the Raven, and just kiting so well here. There's an Immortal out, which is a really good answer.
Oh, he shot his own
Cyclones.
Cyclone for a second there.
Oh, that's not great. Siege Tank dies immediately. Ooh, interfering on the Immortal. It doesn't really seem to matter all that much.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not enough. We got to see an auto turret from that Raven as well. No, there's the Interference Matrix, so that's even better. I wasn't sure if he had the energy or not.
Dude, this Immortal getting disabled twice like that is huge for GuMiho. Yeah, man, multiple Ravens.
Oh my gosh, how many kills does this Oracle have? This one's got 9. Another did die, and it definitely had a couple as well.
This is such a scrappy game. There go the auto turrets you were asking for, and bam, Cyclones doing great against those Stalkers that have been bruised up here. A few more SCVs die. Oracle doing all right for itself. Classic is up at 31 to 18 Army and 63 to 41 worker count.
That is a big worker lead difference.
That's huge. Do we have a Matcherino code?
We do. It should be linked in the chat. If that little blurb, there's a speaker icon or a microphone icon. You can click.
There it is.
Yes,
nice.
It's hidden away. This is a really rough spot for GuMiho, though. Like, Stimpack has just started. He's building 4 racks and 2 eBays at the same time. That is not how a Terran's economy is supposed to go up.
Not exactly according to plan here. Oh, wiping out the Cyclone. No, it breaks the lock-on. Beautifully done. All right, so Phoenix found it, so it should be pretty easy to find.
Yeah, thanks so much to everyone for hitting up that Matcherino. It does go all to the players if you use that free coupon code button. I'll make sure to link that in chat in a little bit here. Yeah, GuMiho, like, he's got such an odd composition. Cyclones, Ravens, and basically no bio units yet.
Well, he's going to start adding Marines in here very quickly with those reactors. Yeah, man, 4th base coming in from Classic. Ooh, yeah, I don't know about coming in here with Phoenix against all of these Cyclones, but whatever. Oh, more Prism sneaking in along the top there. Once again, I think waiting for charge to finish. It's about 60% complete, so it's just a minute longer here.
Come on, GuMiho, there's always a Prism. You know it. You know it in your heart of hearts. And there's the Zealots. GuMiho did anticipate this a little bit. He was preemptively pulling back some of his bio. That's really good to see. The Prism takes a hit. In come the Ravens. And the bio is trying to catch that Medivac, or catch that Warp Prism. 2 Cyclones do unload, trying to kill off that Prism. It does go down. Nice defense.
Yeah, he's like, you're not getting me again. You murdered me with that in game 1. We're not letting that happen the second time. Storm is on the way here from Classic. He's like, that worked for me pretty well in game number 1.
That is exactly what we needed to see from GuMiho. Shutting down the potential of harassment in the future, and then also just not committing across the map into this killer Protoss army. He's got to wait a little bit. Zealots run past that 4th base. They're going to kill that SCV, potentially cancel this command center.
No. Oh, yes. Zealot damage, man. That's a fleet beacon coming in here from Classic.
Hey, I love it. This is why I like Classic, man. He's not afraid to go full Protoss. He's just doing his thing, queuing up Zealot run-bys 2 at a time now. Some on the left, some on the right.
That's how you do.
Going into Sky Toss. I expect we'll see a couple disruptors at some point.
weapon level 1 is coming in. GuMiho's like, I'm doing weird stuff.
Classic's getting 2-2 on along with that air weapons you mentioned, and then there's the first carriers and the mothership on the way. He's like a minute away from being a maxed out Protoss death ball.
Yeah, and GuMiho with his weird little comp here. I don't...
Oh, dead full energy Raven. That hurts.
Lucky get.
I mean, it might have just been feedbacked by the High Templar when a fight actually happens anyway, but still, that definitely hurts for the Terran.
Ooh. Warp Prism's like, ow, missile turret hit bad. Mothership gonna about 50% complete here. And yeah, just keeping GuMiho at home while Classic expands again to the south side. Cyclone maybe shut this base down a little bit.
Okay, GuMiho, we're seeing Classic go full Protoss. You need to go full Terran and start making some BCs.
Ooh, yeah. Absolutely. These stalkers have blink? Nope.
No, they don't.
Started now.
He realizes it. He's like, wait a second.
Oh, gets a cancel. As GuMiho's whole army is here. Air weapons is coming in. Okay, just more zealots. Army in position to deal with this. And yeah,
beautiful.
Warp Prism dead. Everything dead. Way to shut that down.
And it makes me so happy that GuMiho just shut that down, because it's super predictable that the Protoss is going to go for that backstab as soon as they see the main Terran army. There's a nuke on the way now for our Terran. He's grouping up most of his bio army. He's getting ready to land some EMPs and potentially take a fight. This Protoss army could melt if enough EMPs are hit, if an anti-armor missile lands. He's having to back up, though, afraid to get those Ravens feedbacked, it looks like.
Yeah, funnels down that little choke is safe for the time being. More Vikings being added in, and nukes on the way from GuMiho. Phoenix manifested nukes out of GuMiho here. Nice EMP, though, catching the carriers and the Colossus.
Yeah, there's currently 6 High Templar out for the Protoss players. Some of them are at full energy, even though a couple did get EMP'd. Protoss is securing up that 5th base. GuMiho does have his 5th done already, though, and he's building more command centers. He's got that planetary. This one zealot is unsure of what to attack next.
Cyclone doing stuff. Late game PvT. Weird game. There's a fusion core on the way. You might get your battle cruiser wish here.
It is GuMiho.
Double Ghost Academy is pretty sick stuff, too. +2 air weapons is coming in. Let's see what happens when that completes.
Oh, classic, you dog. Building a Nexus for a battery overcharge in the middle of the map. He's got to deal with a Marauder drop in his main base, though. He's not completely maxed out, but he was only able to warp in 2 Zealots. He's got a battery overcharge to back those Zealots up. And now we're seeing a big fight go down on the front lines.
Ooh, the interference on 2 of those Colossus is huge. Oh, the carriers getting interfered with. They're back in battle, but the Viking count is kind of insane. The Vikings are catching storms. Archon's coming in. And GuMiho just did not have enough despite the disables there. Wow.
Yeah, Classic just melted that Terran army. He attacked on in. GuMiho needed to be perfectly set up for that, and it looks like he was just a little bit too grouped up to deal with all that AoE from the Protoss.
Yeah, he had the surround. He was coming in from multiple angles, and I was like, yeah, okay. It was looking all right for GuMiho, and then the carriers are getting disabled, and I don't know. I felt like that was going way better for GuMiho than it actually was. And at the end of it there, bam, just too much Sky Toss, too much Colossus. Bad things. The storm was really important there too, obviously, keeping those Vikings away from both Colossus and the carriers. So we didn't get to see a nuke there, unfortunately. Would have been nice, but maybe we'll get one here in game number 3. But yeah, Classic is in full revenge mode, man.
Yeah, he's looking really good. Sometimes Classic is a guy who will, like, roll out of bed in the morning and be like, okay, it's time to play Starcraft. And then he'll just take a bit to warm up. He's looked hot since the start of this series.
Without a doubt. Wow.
Okay, and here we go into the next match.
Site Delta. Probably one of the more normal maps in the current map pool. There's some weird ones out there. Like
There definitely
Amphion.
is. That's why I'm very glad we have a map pool of 9 maps now. It makes it so we can have some weird maps, but then we also never have to see them when we don't want to, so. Or not as often, anyway. No.
Truth, truth, truth.
In the bottom
All
right, representing Twisted Minds and representing them well, it's Classic.
And in the top left, needs a bit of a comeback here. It's GuMiho.
Yeah, Gumi God.
Cello asks, what's wrong with GuMiho? I don't know. Kind of seems more like Classic. It's just playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, he was very far behind in the previous match from the start. So it was impressive that he was able to make that much of a game of it, even reach maxed out. I think he just needed to position a little better before that fight.
Yeah, GuMiho doing some weird stuff. I mean, non-standard stuff in Games 1 and Game 2. This is definitely more along the lines of a regular opening, at least so far. Got that double gas, got the factory coming in. Once again, we could see a starport. We could hold off on that a little bit.
Yeah. First Reaper out with the second one on the way.
Yeah, everything's fine here. Twilight Council opening. Probably going to get some blink out of there, would be my guess. Out of classic little blink stalker pressure. And yeah, there's the starport. So 1-1-1 build with the command center in there out of GuMiho. Getting some of those Hellions. Reaper versus Adept is always an interesting fight because Reapers do outrange Adepts. But Adepts hit Reapers a lot harder. And the micro is tricky, especially with that shade that's so fast.
Oh yeah. One mistake with the Terran and you can be down a Reaper. GuMiho's got a second Reaper out though, so we could be looking at a dead Adept situation as the Hellion comes on in too. Reaper needs to pull away, and it will stay alive. Does get the Adept this time.
Okay, that changes everything here for GuMiho's open. And thanks to Snoopy, Kashim, TY, Fanboy, Nanion, Ariel, and Phoenix for clicking the claim code button, and Phoenix DeVore for donating $20 of his own cash to the players today and that prize pool. Thank you, Phoenix. You're the best.
Yeah, he's been supporting these events for a long time now. Thank you so much. It's always appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Awesome guy. Represents Canada well.
Yeah.
I mean, you do as well, but, you know, so does Phoenix. All right. So yeah, this game, definitely more standard. Marine production is happening earlier than it did in Game 2, certainly. The map control here for GuMiho is doing what it does. Widowmine drop, more standard. So this whole game, GuMiho just playing it more standard, and it's going for him better than the early games in Game 1 and Game 2 did. Now, Classic should be able to defend a 2 Widowmine drop in his sleep, but sometimes you do screw this up as Protoss, so let's see his reaction time here. Pretty perfect. Gonna go ahead and sack one probe. GuMiho unburrows and says, I don't want one probe. I want multiple probes, but eventually you kind of just have to take it. Or maybe, is he just going to pick it up? And yeah, he picks it up. Look at him changing the target. Takes the probe.
Yeah,
And
GuMiho.
no, loses both of the Widow. One probe for 2 Widow Mines. Not great.
He did get quite a bit of denied mining time there, at least.
That's true.
Keeping the Medivac alive is good, too, and he actually got the Reapers and Hellion into here. Liberator now moving out as well for the Terran player. Looks like it will not cross paths with any Protoss units just yet. This drop is on the way. Gonna have to maneuver into that main base, and these units do not have long to live. We'll see what they can get.
They do not. Really wants to kill that medevac, but 3 probes down, 4 probes down. Maybe a 5th. Look at them focusing on that Reaper Hellion. Kind of a secondary concern there.
Yeah, the Medivac did perish too. So 4 workers is a bit of a mixed bag. I think it's okay. If he kept the Medivac alive, that would have been much better, of course.
Certainly. Extended Thermal Lance is on the way. Colossus happening. 3rd base on the way from Classic. Yeah, and Classic held that aggression pretty darn well. But a more standard comp here again from GuMiho. Marines, Marauders, Stim coming in. Less of the weird stuff, more of the traditional stuff here we've been seeing since Wings of Liberty, man. I mean,
man.
Nothing about this.
This is a risky fight for the Terran player. He does not have Stim Pack, no combat shield on those Marines. And Classic is seeing a potential prize. There is another tank sieging up in the bushes. A bit of a sneak attack by the Terran player. Does scan too, kills the Observer. Classic is going for blood, though.
Oh, wow. And every tank gets wiped out. All the Marines die. And GuMiho, that was not the outcome he was looking for. I can tell you that much.
No. Oh, the Liberator in the main base. Pardon my observing.
Ah, there we go.
Kills 6
so
workers.
Knocking down that worker count. Now GuMiho's up 47 to 43. Plus he has those mules.
Yeah, he killed 6 workers, and he got out with the Liberator without a single scratch on it. That's really nice. And then, I mean, he at least traded out for a few Stalkers. 7 have died this game. Resources lost is neck and neck. GuMiho's just got to be careful fighting against these 2 Colossus, as he is down a lot of supply after that fight.
Yeah, can't be happy about that. Losing those tanks is never fun either. But yeah, replacing them as well as you do. Alex, thanks for clicking that claim code button. Appreciate it, man. Observer. Oh.
Oh, great. GuMiho.
Yeah, I thought the Observer was going to get out of there, but like it moved an inch and then tried to go back into observation mode.
Does Classic just have sick game sense? He almost caught these 2 Medivacs. He's now moving in with the Stalkers right into the siege tanks.
Wipes out one of them immediately, but there's another tank on that high ground and another tank on that other high ground.
Oh, there's the double drop.
Yeah, he saw that one. Whether he saw it, I don't know, but he definitely had it on vision for a second there.
Yeah, there were the line of sight blockers, so I'm not too sure. And this bio is getting a nice jump on this Protoss 3rd. These are +1 bio units, and they just shredded a ton of the workers for the Protoss. That is almost game-ending damage by GuMiho. He's got to defend his main base, and Classic has got a Prism. He's killed off a lot of the Terran defenders, if not pretty much all of them. And while GuMiho is getting damage done, he is turning this game into a full-on base race right now.
Yeah, that worker kind of obliterated for Classic, but he has a lot going on here. But both players looking pretty scary. Marine Marauder with Stim and Medevac support. This is pretty much unopposed. Yeah, definitely going to force a recall back home.
Yeah, but I think Classic's taken too much damage.
The 24 workers. He's got his 3rd Nexus. If that goes down, I'm really worried about him. Because GuMiho's natural base is a ghost town at the moment. I mean, he'll probably send him down. He's got his 3rd base too, though, which is awesome.
The Prism for Classic narrowly avoids those Marines.
Hey, and Key, thanks for sending all of your viewers from Twitch over here. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Yeah, but look at that. 71 to 39 army supply. Marines, Marauders, tanks, medevacs. The splash damage is exactly 2 Colossus. Not looking
Yeah.
good. This might just be the hammer here for GuMiho.
And there's 1/1 upgrades on the bio too. Not a battery at this third base. There's not even a single probe to defend here yet. Classic can't afford to lose the Nexus. He blinks forward aggressively, soaking those tank shots. The Colossus are dealing lots of damage and staying alive, but it's not enough. GuMiho is still alive here.
He needed it. He needed it. Literally needed it, or he was going. So, excellent comeback there. All the tanks got wiped out, but man, Marines, Marauders together are still pretty powerful against Protoss if there's not too much splash damage. And there wasn't. So that was good. That was really nicely done there by GuMiho. Plays it more normally, doesn't do any weird out-of-the-box stuff, and it goes well for him. Who knew? Let's see if he mixes it up here on Amphion, which is one of the weird maps we were talking about. Whether he's going to do something strange here, or maybe just play that more standard TVP strat. Nothing too weird about it. And we'll see if he can go ahead and tie this series up.
Yeah, now let's make sure both these players are ready, both saying go go. And so we shall go into our next match.
We shall. Amphion, crazy map. Got that back door, left side of the map, secret passageway to your enemy's natural. It's a top left versus a bottom left spawn. Reminds me of Golden Wall, which the players did not like, and they probably don't like this map either. But, you know, you got to play it sometimes. You got to know what's going on. So here we are loading on into Amphion. Bottom left, Cloud9 Gaming's GuMiho.
And in the top left, it is Twisted Classic.
All right. Let's see if Classic maybe mixes it up with a little bit more early aggression here. He did that in game 1, but mostly in response to GuMiho's aggression. He's going to do it on his own. I don't know. Aki is translating the Maturino message into Spanish for all of our Spanish-speaking viewers. Awesome stuff, Aki. Thank you. They can do the Maturino code as well. Anybody viewing totally can.
Yeah, it's a really great habit to get into when it comes to these events because it's such an easy way to support esports. For reference, we're on, oh gosh, how many events have we done? Like 120?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Yeah, we're almost at 100. Let's just say 100. So I mean, what's 25 cents times 100? It's
right.
Like $25. If you'd used that free coupon code, you would have given $25 to pro players just for clicking buttons.
It's just one viewer, too. You know, all 100 of you watching it do it every time. Absolutely crazy amounts of support for these players.
Yeah. So thanks to everyone who does that. We have got a Cybernetics core on the way for Classic, so playing it a little bit safe. But there'll be the Nexus up shortly after, and GuMiho is actually going for the more macro-focused Terran build. He's gone double gas every single match in this series, and now he changes it up.
Yeah. Gotta do it. So Aki says, Freaka, we had 114 of those. And this is our third SOOP global.
Okay. High ground command center for GuMiho, showing a lot of respect to Classic. Factory on the way, extra racks on the way too. So gonna have a lot of early bio to work with.
Definitely expanding, but pretty aggressive on the opening.
Thank you, Phoenix and Aki, for doing the math there for us.
Porque Classic siempre comienzas con planeta. I have no idea what most of that says. Something about a question about Classic.
Porque Classic. I have no idea either.
Yes, Phoenix did go check how many Africa Worlds they were. Appreciate it, Phoenix. You're the best. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
Well, at least we're seeing that the chat, that there's not much chat delay here.
It's true. I'm noticing that.
Why does Classic always start with an advantage? Because he's Protoss, silly.
Protoss always starts with an advantage.
And that's why Protoss have won the last 30 GSLs in a row.
Yeah, and every ESL event as well. Amazing stuff, really. soO hasn't played yet, Cello.
Yeah,
in our
soO
second
will
best
be
of 5
next.
against Future of Terran.
The ghost of a Widowmine making Classic play passive with that Oracle. He still manages to grab 3 SCVs and shut off the gas mining for GuMiho for a second, and 3 Stalkers come on in and bully the natural. He's playing yo-yo with GuMiho.
Yeah, 5 SCVs down this early is really problematic. Harassing that natural base is a big deal. Classic hitting a 3rd base while GuMiho's not mining from his 2nd base at all is bonkers.
Yeah, GuMiho is going to have to lift or pull units to save this command center. It is burning.
There's no way he's going to let 3 Stalkers kill this. There's no way. And he's not. He's moving out with his unupgraded Marines. Stim is done in 7 seconds, but he couldn't wait for Stim.
Nope, there's a reason he didn't want to either. Didn't want to move out before Stim, as he lost multiple Marines due to that kiting. We are seeing a big drop of the Widow Mines. The 1 mine.
Takes the 1 probe.
Okay, the mines burrow. 1 Oracle goes down. That's nice. Another one gets a big connection.
Ooh, the 4 Widow Mine drop, getting 9 probe kills. And he lifts that one.
And here's the 1-2 punch as GuMiho now comes in with his Stim Marines. He finds the 3rd base. He might have got more damage done at the natural. However, Classic is reacting to this. Simply loses a pylon. The Medivac can now group up with those Marines to support them. There's actually another 2 out already that should be joining up with this army soon enough. The Bio actually has to Stim to get on out of there. Fortunately, there's no blink just yet. The Marines are going to turn and fight, but they don't have combat shields, so they're incredibly brittle.
Definitely squishy boys. Guardian Shield is up. That's negating a bunch of the damage here from these Marines and their ranged attack. But that said, Marines, man, with Stim.
Oh my gosh, they're so
scary
good.
boys here. Our Oracle gets picked off. Phoenix dies too. And yeah, just the sheer damage output of these Marines without combat shield. Looking pretty good. Widowmine burrows at the front, is able to burrow, which is a huge deal here. Immortal going to finish up pretty quickly, and a Colossus getting started next.
Yeah, and there's no Observer for Classic either. He was just relying on the Oracles, and those are now dead. So that's why he had to pull a probe to get that Widowmine.
Yep. I cast a Hearthstone versus Clem game from Home Story, and Hearthstone didn't get obs out for a long time against Clem's Widowmines. And part of it is they didn't have drilling claws yet, as these ones don't. Oh gosh, really hurting that Immortal a lot.
And
then the Marines come up to finish it. Beautifully done.
No battery.
Zealots. Yeah, battery finishing up there is a big deal. The Zealot tanking a ton of that damage is huge. Charge lots, as always, a prime component.
These players have like no units. GuMiho has 9 Marines, 2 Mines, 2 Medivacs, and a Liberator. There's 1 Colossus and 7 Stalkers for the Protoss. This game has been a lot of trading out early on. Scan goes down for GuMiho, investing the resources to do that, hoping to find some damage, but I'm not sure he's going to find it. So he's going to try and boost back with these Medivacs. There is plenty of Stalkers waiting to intercept this army. He's got to pull out of there. Widowmine does detonate, kills a Zealot, but they both get cleaned up. All the while, though, Liberator in the main base drives the probes away.
Liberator running for it. Stalker's trying to take him out. So GuMiho's got his 3rd base rolling here. Classic's 3rd base advantage is falling apart.
Okay.
Yeah, upgrades coming in from both players. +1 attack ground for Protoss, +1 for the infantry for GuMiho, and GuMiho on a bit of another move out. You can't just leave a Protoss alone. They'll expand everywhere. You got to keep pressuring them if you have any hope of winning here. Did he just set up Liberation Mode in a defensive position?
He did. I love it.
Defender mode actually defending. Incredible.
It's almost like Classic likes to go for Zealot run-bys. +1 still not done on these Marines, so they're not actually putting out as much damage as GuMiho will like. As GuMiho likes, that will be remedied in a couple of seconds here. GuMiho does have this group of bio moving towards the north. Lots of vision for Classic. However, there's a prism that gets spotted. Not going to get caught, though.
No.
And the Marines can't unload into the Zealots.
No, they don't want to do that at all. I love the one Phoenix harass. That's hilarious. No sign of a fourth base again here from Classic, but his charge is done. The Zealot effectiveness goes up by about 40% there, and Storm's on the way. So Classic almost has the tools that he wants here. He's been able to get there in 2 of the games so far today. We'll see if we can pull it off here in game number 4. And still, a fourth base, man. You can't just 3-base to 3-base this thing against GuMiho and expect to get a win.
No, we are seeing Classic finally try and carve that position out. Looks like I think that was a Phoenix going down against the Marines. GuMiho is utilizing how much open space there is on this map to keep pressure on the Protoss. Oh, pardon me, the Zealots must have come on in there. Killed 4 SCVs.
Okay, that's fine. We'll take it. 67 to 64 workers. Classic will take any advantage on worker count he can possibly get. He's finally getting Blink. Again, it's been kind of
GuMiho is going home.
Oh, 4 prisms. Sniped. Good snipe.
Oh, man, StarCraft 2 is it is a game of chance to an extent. GuMiho had like 4 medivacs worth of bio just south of Classic's main base. There wasn't any Protoss forces near to defend that. He elects to pull his army home, though, and is either getting ready to defend an attack or go for one himself.
Yeah, he split an army left and right here. Might go for a drop in the main while threatening that 4th base of Classic. I'm not sure if Classic's going to be able to defend that ably. Seems like he's kind of bouncing back and forth here. GuMiho sees the army move up towards the natural. He's going to push up towards the 4th now.
Oh, man.
But Classic bounces over and rebuffs him.
Yeah, both these players really having to be aware of their surroundings right now as Classic loses an observer. That's going to make things a little bit darker for him. GuMiho breaking down all the rocks. He wants to have as many attack paths as possible. For those of you asking in chat, yes, Future versus soO is our next match. I haven't actually got a response yet from soO, so we may have to find a replacement last minute. We'll see if that's the case or not.
Yeah, hoping for it. Love casting soO. He's great. Classic back into Fleet Beacon.
Yeah.
Zealots and GuMiho's main base again. Surprise.
Who'da thunk? 2 Vikings do pop out, though, and they will be able to kill that prism off. Should allow this harassment to end, however, not before 9 SCVs go down, and GuMiho's going to try and use this to get the Terran army out of position. He's trying to force GuMiho into a no-win situation. Protoss is moving forward, killing off some production. However, he is committed very far forward. There is Ghosts, but they have not EMP'd the High Templar just yet, so more Psystorm is coming. There's 1 or 2 EMPs going down. However, Psystorm remains, and GuMiho has taken a lot of damage.
Why don't we see Psystorm more often? 30 SCVs have died on the other side, and Classic gets it. GuMiho taps out. Just like in game 1, cannot win the battle and deal with the Zealots inside of his main base. Brutal, brutal loss there for GuMiho. And
GG.
Classic completes his revenge. Absolutely incredible stuff. GuMiho 3-1 Classic and GSL Season 3 in last year, not that long ago, and now Classic gets the 3-1 to complete the Revenge arc and move on into our Best of 7 final. Amazing stuff there out of Classic. Great, great game.
Yeah, that was a really fun series to watch. Well done by Classic on just pulling the trigger and being able to end it there. And that means we're going to be having a bit of a short break here. But then we're going to get into our next series. It's going to be Future versus soO, hopefully. If not, we'll find a replacement player, hopefully in the couch cushions somewhere. And yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. We will be back in a couple minutes.
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
All right, everyone, my apologies for that bit of delay. However, it was worth the wait, as we have got ourselves soO. He did indeed show up, which is good to see. And that means we'll have our original match. Future taking on soO, a TVZ best of 5, an American taking on a Korean Zerg.
Yeah, finally got his premier win a couple years ago, broke that barrier, and just abjectly terrifying in general. soO is a great Zerg player, going to give Future everything he can possibly handle here today. And we'll see how Future can do it. Future's been around for a while.
Yeah, definitely. He's been practicing today. He's probably putting his nose to the grindstone now that he's in Korea. There is a link. I will send that for the Matcherino. Thank you for asking, John Solo.
Yeah, we're all new to this channel, John. Yeah. I hear ya. I had the same question earlier, so just, you know, learning this new platform all together, so that's great. All right, so Crimson Court, one of my favorite maps in the map pool. Let's go. Future Game 1 against soO here. Man, I'd be so nervous if I was Future, but he's been doing this. He's been competing against players like this for a few years now. In my brain, he's still this kind of up-and-coming new kid, but he's established now. And in the top right of Crimson Court, it is Matcherino's Future.
Yeah, how's that for his partnership / sponsorship?
Not bad at all.
And in the bottom left, it's soO,
who, according to Wikipedia, is currently playing for Weibo Gaming, Chinese-based Starcraft team.
Ah, nice. No
Hero's on there, Oliveira's on there. A bunch of other Chinese players I've never heard of on there. So yeah, same team as Hero and Oliveira.
Yeah, soO did fail to qualify for the Esports World Cup. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's taking a little bit of a break from StarCraft 2. I did see him playing Brood War the other day. But he's no doubt just an incredibly good Zerg. As far as this series goes, though, I'm not sure I don't think he's done too much prep for it. He asked me, Future is KR? And I was like, yes, Future, the American Terran player, is in Korea. So I'm not sure how much prep he's done for this, but it should be fun regardless.
Yeah, man. I mean, he first came onto the scene. He was so aggressive. It was really fun to watch. And yeah, it's going to be a racks into a factory here. Hardwalling. The Overlord says, okay, fair enough. Reaper on the way into a reactor on that barracks. Maybe more Reapers, or we're going to start marine production. Double gas, not expanding yet. So it's a one base play here. SOO's Overlord can't quite see into the natural of Future.
No, in he comes.
Wait, where are your lings? SOO, buddy.
Yeah, this is very early.
Yeah, but there's no lings in production. Like, that queen popped out to save the day. I guess it worked out. There's that second base.
Future is just... He's gone for a one base opener against Zerg, which is nuts. Well, one base factory, and then an expansion.
It is. I don't know how this is going to work out for him. Quick armory, too. What? It's like... No, but what?
It's got to be Hellbats.
Future. Yeah, I guess.
How much...
Yeah, there you go. Reactoring out the Hellions. Huh. I don't know. I just haven't seen a Zerg player to die to this in a while.
Yeah, it is the earliest possible Hellbat timing I think you can possibly go for as a Terran.
Yeah, I think you're right.
SOO is building a Roach Warren, getting up a lair now. I agree with the Roach Warren. I'm not too sure about the lair, however. We'll see if he gets out Roaches in time that these Hellbats roll on up.
Flirted with Burrow. He had Burrow up for about half a second and then canceled it, which is hilarious. Yeah, see a hard wall. You got a bunch of queens out. Great. Roach Warren finishing up fairly soon. Roaches murder Hellbats in their sleep. It's a war crime. It's that much of an just complete counter.
Yeah, the problem for SOO is that he doesn't have any Roaches out, and there's going to be like 1 trillion Hellions now morphing into Hellbats. Grenade's going to bounce the queens, break that wall right on open, and SOO is going to be in trouble. Can he hold on long enough? Can he play Ring Around the Rosie to avoid taking too much damage from these Hellbats?
They're inside your mineral line, sir. There are 10 Roaches in production, but where are they now is what SOO is asking. Where are my Roaches? Here they are. Roaches starting to come out, really starting to counter here. And Reapers really chasing down these drones. It's not the Hellbats so much as the Reapers that are able to chase down these drones. A ton of lost mining time. Finally getting back to work. Their 8 drones go down, but the Roaches came out in time, and it sure looks like SOO is okay.
Yeah, I don't think Future got enough damage done there. This is why I love it if Terran players will leave like two of the Hellbats in Hellion form, because it allows them to chase down those running drones. Now, Future's on the defensive big time. He's got a siege tank out. That can zone out these Roaches for now. There's no Ravagers, so the bunker will definitely help out, but there we go. Ravagers are morphing, and SOO is ready to try and deal some counter damage. And that is a low ground stim pack, by the way.
I don't know about this. Ravagers joining the party. Oh boy. High ground siege tank says, we are a high ground siege tank. Screw you. Prosobiles, bunker down. Okay, that's not
the
great
stim
to
pack.
lose your bunker. Get it.
The repair lacking a little bit. The tank, or a tank, gets sieged up, helping zone this out.
Okay,
is Future gonna keep that alive?
Yeah. It's got 10 seconds. It's finished.
It's so close, but...
Got it. Done.
Okay.
See, Future wasn't worried.
Yeah, Future knew he had that on lock. Holy cow, that was That was something. soO didn't get that much damage done with the counterattack, and as a result, he's a Zerg with a very delayed third against a Terran that's now powering Bio Tank on a map that you can siege the third base from the low ground.
Yes, it's super annoying to deal with here. More roaches being added in. 61 to 49 worker count. soO's up, but his army value is about even. Queen gets wiped out by siege tanks. Those Ravagers are pretty injured. Siege tanks firing on this base. Dude, Future absolutely killing it. Didn't even get the hatch. Easy. Easy gets the hatch. That wasn't even close. Dude, and suddenly soO's on 2 bases and cannot be happy about this. What is with the roach openings in ZVT these days? I mean, I know he kind of was forced in there because of the Hellbat stuff, but just a lot of roaches in ZVT, and it works out more than not here for the Zergs. I just feel like Ling Bane Queen is just so much faster and more versatile, and they can jump on these groups a lot better. Roaches and Ravagers have a really hard time closing that distance without just getting shredded. So, ooh, that scan does not reveal that creep tumor. No. That's a big thing to keep alive, but does reveal the new third base location.
soO does not want to fight before his +1 carapace is done. That is now finished. Either way.
Still doesn't really want to fight, man. There's 4 tanks back there.
He's got to try, though. He's going to break this. Corrosive Biles will kill off one of the siege tanks. Not even. And I think Future has taken game number 1 against soO.
Count your chickens here. Roaches coming out, trying to deal with this. More roaches being added on in here. That's a pickup. That's a retreat. So, I mean, soO hangs on to the third base. Future doesn't have a third one yet. Upgrades are coming in quite nicely from Future. +2 attacks on the way for the infantry with the +1 armor. And more roaches, more Ravagers being added in here. That +1 missile attack is going to finish up here in about 20 seconds.
Tank's not sieged.
That before the before the tank siege.
He biles his own tumor,
tumor. Brutal.
Future
not enough room in the inn for all of the things. Now there is. Okay.
Yeah, I think Future honestly like expected there to be more Zerg, which is why he was ready to retreat, but I think like he's on very even supply compared to the Zerg. He's got stimmed bio against Roach Ravager.
Yeah, a lot of tanks too. Corrosive Bile. Oh, did he? I think he saved that tank. Sick play by Future, but he's retreating. I mean, this is very unorthodox game from Future. The tank count is super high. His third base is rolling. There we go. Fourth base from soO coming up high ground. Oh, that tank position is so mean. Corrosive Biles and Queen range, Ravager range can actually hit over there. What? Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody measured that when they made this map, I guess. Could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that was just such a scrappy fight on both ends. I expected Future to be able to take that further, but apparently not. He's now researching 3-1 upgrades, which is a little funny, having +2 done before any armor.
Yeah, it's Marine Marauder Siege Tank here. +3 attacks on the way from Future at 10 minutes, which is a really fast +3 timing. I like it. soO needs to get out of Roach Ravager at some point here. +3 Marines and Marauders crush Roach Ravager. He needs to get into Lurkers or Banelings or something. The longer he sits on this, the worse it's going to be for him on the trades. Although, I mean, this is definitely sufficient to at least chase Future away for the time being. But he needs something. He needs Infestors, he needs Vipers, he needs something beyond just pure Roach Ravager. This is not going to work for him in the long run. Not even close. And he knows that. Rich Vespine Geyser, bam, Extractor gone. A Siege tank position. This map has a lot of good tank positions, which I guess is why maybe we're getting a lot of tanks. Yeah, that tank positioning is so hard to crack. Infestation Pit is on the way. Corrosive Bios.
Oh my gosh.
Do take down one of the tanks, but oh my gosh, just standing and fighting here. Another tank goes down. Another tank dies. Last tank taking the Corrosive Vials. And man, Future, hang on. Stutter stepping in. Reinforcements come in. Yeah, like I said, this isn't even +3. These are just +2, +1 Marines with a lot of Marauders here. Armor value suddenly 72 to 69. Future has an advantage here. Not enough time to really turn a bunch of these into Ravagers.
No, and there's another tank set up. Gonna start shooting away. The +1 on them means they do even more damage. And just look at how many Marauders this is fighting roaches.
Yeah, that might be it. 65 to 34 armor supply. This base down. GG Future takes game 1 of our best of 5. Great stuff, man.
USA, USA.
Yeah, who says Korea is the best country in the world at StarCraft? Actually, Finland would disagree with that one. But well done. I am surprised by that game 1. I mean, part of it is the Hellbat timing, as you said, about as early as you can make it. Really got there before the roaches popped. We're trying to deal with it with like 3 or 4 queens, not ample. The grenade charges to get the queens out of that wall were huge. A lot of lost mining time. A lot of drones died, and I really just think that set SOO back quite a bit. He was never able to transition out of Roach Ravager. His 3rd base dying was humongous. And then couldn't defend his 4th base adequately. Future's macro was good. Future's tank count was good. His Marauder count was good. He knew what he was dealing with. He knew what he wanted to do against it, and that was great. That was just heavily impressive. So we're moving on to game number 2 here, which is Site Delta. And we'll see if maybe SOO can feel a little bit more comfortable here.
Yeah. Okay. In the bottom right-hand side of the map, representing Maturino, its Future.
And in the top left, from Weibo Gaming, it's SOO. The Chinese team. SCV moving out real early, like hatch block timing early. What do you think you are, Protoss?
Apparently so.
Or is he going to build a barracks in the back of SOO?
Oh, it's an eBay, you dirty dog.
Babe.
Is he going to go block the next base too?
I don't
No.
know. SOO just goes for a pool and an extractor. I figured he'd just go for the hatch, the 3rd base. I mean, he's had his natural blocked by Protoss 1 billion times over the last 5 years. So you think he'd... This is such a weird response from him. I don't know if I like it at all. SCV comes in and says, oh, you've got gas and your pool's halfway done. Okay, that's your response here.
Yeah, it is important to note that Future did delay his own build a lot doing this. Oh, that SCV is in trouble. Gonna have to get on out of there if it wants to stay alive. SOO even has to pull another drone, so he'll be able to expand in a reasonable time frame.
Yeah, I don't remember when I was like, man, maybe SOO will be more comfortable in game number 2. Definitely not. Definitely not more comfortable. He is using drones to burn this... It gets the cancel anyway. 2nd base is coming up at 2 minutes, which is eternably late. Future's getting his 2nd base up inside the main base. A little bit worried about Lings. He knows speed's on the way. He knows there are Lings in production. I don't know about this from SOO. What is your plan? It can't be speedlings. It's not going to be enough.
This is why we love having North American players in our cups.
Because they do the weirdest stuff.
Okay, Lings are taking the long way north. And Future is building 4... Well, he's going up to 4 racks on 2 bases before any further tech. This young Terran player is really going full NA.
He is, and it's understandable. I would do that too if I was going against soO. Don't let him know what you're doing. Stim getting fired up here at about 3:30. Marine count coming up all the way here. soO needs a Baneling Nest or a Rotorn or something.
Yeah, the timer's started for soO. He needs to scout this out or just blindly defend. 4 racks is such an odd number, but apparently Future says it's the right number. When you go for an eBay block, if you follow it up with 4 raxes, it could do you well.
The math checks out.
There's Combat Shield started as soon as that 100 gas mark is hit. It will finish about 30 seconds after Stim Pack, meaning that Future will potentially have a window to attack without Stim, while to attack with Stim without Combat Shield, or to wait longer. Seeing as how soO has no defense, that's a tough call presently, whether to go in early or wait a little bit. Future doesn't know that, of course.
Nope, certainly not. Yeah, so Stim and Combat Shield coming in. Rotorn gets fired up. I don't know what it is with these Korean Zergs and their roaches, man. They love them. Rogue loves them. soO loves them. Dark loves them.
Yeah.
soO tried this against Maru a bunch in GSL, and it was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's understandable that like guys like Rogue can get away with it, because Rogue somehow pulls out extra roaches seemingly out of nowhere. But yeah, they are not a catch-all, that's for sure. And here goes the first attack. 10 seconds till Combat Shield's done. And we have got roughly 24 Marines walking on to creep. Combat Shield Stim Pack. Is soO ready for this? There's the scan. And the stim starts. In goes the Terran player. The Lings try and buffer, and they do for a second. Is it going to be enough time for these Marines to be picked off? They do have Combat Shields, so they're extra tanky. Their numbers are thinning out. Of course, the stim injures them. Future wants to get some drones, and he's going to get 5, 6, and counting.
9, 10, 12. Once again, an early unorthodox timing that takes out about 10 workers from soO and a ton of lost mining time. 14 drones go down. Absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, that was nutty. Now, as far as the follow-up for Future is concerned, it's interesting. He's floating way too many resources, so he's got to build something else. Almost 800 minerals in his pocket. Bottlenecked by gas right now, it seems. Needs to start another CC if right now if he's going to do that. And he's probably floating money because he's only on 4 racks, not on 5.
I just don't know. Why, man? Why, Future?
He's got so much money. Spend your money, man.
800 minerals here.
USA.
Another
USA.
Yeah. Wings. Oh, Medevac totally saved that SCV. He was dead. Yeah, man. It's just Roach, dude. It's Roach upgrades all the way across the board here against a pull the boys Marine tank push.
This is something. 38 Marines, a bunch of SCVs in tow. There is Medivacs to support this. +1 done. soO will not have his 1-1 finished by the time this fight happens. Corrosive Biles gonna force a dodge. And in goes the Terran player. Tanks are only useful if they have time to siege up, and when you're using an SCV pull, That's kind of counterintuitive. However, they are repairing up the tanks.
Man, more roaches being added in here, but like you said, no carapace upgrade, no missile attack upgrade, and it's really about the carapace upgrade that matters here. It's so hard to hold this kind of a thing without that. But soO is just scrapping here. 6 more drones go down. That missile attack upgrade gets focused and denied. That's huge. Corrosive Isle, the only splash damage on the play here from soO.
Yeah, the Marines are very stimmed for Future. If he does one more, they will be in the deep, deep red. Medivacs need a second to heal up this Terran army. Future accidentally loads up SCVs into a Medivac. soO steps down the ramp. No
Those
drones.
Marines could have maybe gone after that 4th, but yeah, no drones to kill. Taking the hatch would have been pretty good.
This is ridiculous.
62 to 42 workers here from soO. It's again, he pulled a ton of SCVs, so like the longer soO can sit here and make stuff, the better it is for him.
Yeah.
Wow, just going up, losing more SCVs, body blocking here for sure. God, the stim damage output here is nuts. But the carapace upgrade is finished. The siege tanks are getting corrosive wild on some level, but not as well as soO would like that to happen here. The scrap is so scrappy right now. All the tanks are gone.
Oh my
no, just
gosh.
kidding. 2 more tanks have showed up here. This group of Marines is getting whittled down, but not fast enough for soO's liking, and he finally holds it, and soO takes game 2.
GG.
Yeah, if you're going to pull the boys like that, you kind of have to win a little bit earlier. He pulled the boys and then like set his tanks up and kind of was like patient, a little more patient than I think he wanted to be there. So nicely done, soO, taking game number 2. It was not easy at all, but yeah, once that carapace upgrade finished, it was a big, big, big boon for him against all of those Marines, especially against the Marines. Less against the siege tanks and their big chunky damage, more for the Marines and their small itty bitty damage that comes fast. So good stuff there, man. soO, I mean, he wasn't happy about that. I can tell you that much. But that worker count, especially once Future pulled the boys, I mean, it was a massive worker discrepancy in favor of soO. He's able to make more stuff, use that high ground that you got available to you on Site Delta on your natural and to your 3rd base, and pretty much make it work. So good job by soO. But Future made him work for it for sure.
Oh, that was such a crazy match between these two.
Yeah. Only 9 minutes. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think there's a reason for that. Future is in a PC bong, and he said he had to buy more time. So he's doing that right now.
No. You didn't bring a PC with him? That's crazy. All right, man. Looks like we need a bit of a minute here for that to happen, but be sure to use that Matcherino code. In the top right of the chat there's that megaphone icon. If you click on it, it'll expand out, give you the Matcherino link. You go there, you can sign in with 27 different sign-in options. I guarantee you have one of the things you can sign into Matcherino with. And then click on the claim code button on the right side to throw free money at these players into the prize pool. No money out of your pocket. It goes to the players. It does not go to myself and LaughNgamez. If you want to support Starcraft and encourage players to come back for the next SOOP event, then by all means do the Matcherino.
Yeah, do it, guys. If soO is gonna put up with things like this, we gotta get that prize pool up. Yeah, so Future will be a couple of minutes here, it looks like. We're just gonna throw to a quick little break, I think, and then we'll be back. Okay, back in a minute.
Don't go anywhere.
All right. We are back, everyone. Apologies for that longer wait. Future was in a PC bong, and he probably had to swap PC to get more time or something like that. So that took a minute. Big thanks to SOO for being patient, and big thanks to all of you for being patient.
Definitely. And thanks to John Solo for the $10 donation to the prize pool. Awesome stuff, John. You're the best. And for MVO7137 for clicking the claim button on Maturino.
Paused.
It's like maybe some problems with the PC.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet it's just his hotkeys or something. Which is unfortunate.
It is. Future full NA. Never go full NA.
Game resumed.
And we're back. All right. Good stuff. So, top left of Amphion, we have our red Zerg player. It is SOO.
And in the bottom left, it is Future. I will be back in 1 second.
All right. Follow this Overlord as he scouts down. Only one place the Terran player could be. You don't want to be too obvious about your scouting path, because a Marine could show up and kill the Overlord before it gets to where it wants to go. SOO's going another pool firster. It wasn't a 12 pool. It looks like it was maybe about a 17 or 18 pool here. But he is going to be aggressive. Is he getting gas? No. He's just happy about the pool. Maybe he's going to go down there and try to cancel the expansion of Future. Hope that Future doesn't SCV scout and see this. Somebody did this the other day. Who was it? I want to say it was Bjorn. Maru, maybe? It was like an elite Terran player. Just completely failed to SCV scout the Zerg.
I think was it like Maru Dark GSL or something?
It might have been
I want to
finals
say
of GSL,
it was Maru
yeah.
Dark GSL finals that happened.
Yeah. And Dark was just like, I got 6 slings in your nat. And Maru's like, ah. His Reaper's on the other side. It was a delay. It was so bad. I think it was this map, too, that he did it.
Yeah, I think so. Starcraft 2
Alright.
players are so forgetful. Like, they're like, oh,
Truth.
only people never did this thing all the time.
So yeah, so then you send the Lings, you take a path around where the Reaper wants to go.
Oh, and there's
and
the
then
reactor.
Reaper takes this other path. Yep, the Reaper goes this way because that's where they always go, and the Lings are going to show up in the natural, and Future's going to be mad.
Yeah, it's a dice roll. Plain and
This
simple.
is exactly. Just do it. Just send the stupid SCV out. Yeah, look at this. SCV pulls off. Delay on the second base. So brutal. There's nothing to deal with this at all. The Reaper has to zoom all the way back home.
Yeah, SOO's even hiding 2 of the Lings.
He is. I don't know to what end, though.
I guess
keeping them
just to
alive.
maybe, I don't know, go back in. Because Future kills the Sling, he heads out. Does SOO go in with the other 2 Lings right now? There is a small window. It's a little late now.
The Reaper's heading out. Oh, thanks. Inazuma Kick for using the claim code button. Appreciate it. Hang on, hang on. Ah, the Lings aren't even trying. Okay, guys, whatever you want to do, man. Yeah, I don't know what those 2 Lings are for at all. Like, you're definitely right. There was a bit of a window there, just didn't use it at all.
Future is going for a 2-1-1, albeit slightly delayed.
Thanks to not SCV scouting. Reaper jumps right into Queentown, USA, and escapes with his life. Very brave Reaper pilot here. Not really a pilot. Oh, definitely dead. All right. Queen damage, enough. Starport on the way. Stim coming in here again. SOO's third base is popping. About 60% complete there.
Yeah, 2-1-1, a very, very classic Terran build. We don't see it too often as Zergs have the defense mapped. However, when things fall out of the meta, players tend to forget about it, and as a result, SOO could be caught off guard by this. He has not scouted this at all. He's seen the few Marines at the front with the Ling, but we continue to see drones from soO. Roachwarn is 20 seconds out. Stim is only 10 seconds out with some medivacs not far behind. And now there's a complete wall for the Terran. Is soO going to recognize this and be like, yeah, you usually follow up a 2-on-1 with an eBay like this. What are you hiding, you strange American man?
Alright. Roach production has not begun, despite the fact that the Roach Warren is done. There we go. Roach is on the way. 4 of them. Queen's in position to intercept this to some extent, but they can't exactly burn these things down like Stalkers can. So he goes for it. Ling's in position. Queen's in position, though. Ling, Queen together can do it. And Future's like, beans.
Yeah, pretty much. There is not much else that Future can do in that position. Like, the Zerg has the defense. There's not a lot of wiggle room with non-upgraded Marines for the most part. As I say that, though, he does manage to get in behind the base, kill off a drone. Then he can drop at the natural, potentially, or the third. Goes right to the third. Can force those drones away, potentially. Our Lings are actually just going to come on in, and it's a great position for Future.
It is. Yeah, Roach is trying to cram themselves in there. 5, 6, again. Future manages to get some drone kills here in the first 5 to 10 minutes, and that's exactly what you want to do.
I will eat my not much wiggle room words. Future wiggled and soO wobbled.
He did. He wobbled a bit, but he lost more workers in the last game and came out on top anyway, so...
That's true.
6 drones, not that big of a deal. Zergs these days are better and better at absorbing losses like that. Really no big complaints. Again, a weird time to move out with these Marines, but got the stim, got the medevacs. Might as well be out there, be active. You can pick up its roaches anyway. And again, just the love of the roach in this current matchup today is mind-boggling. Like, soO is just... He will not make Banelands.
Oh my gosh, the Queens get caught as well.
Big.
Future misses the creep tumor once again, though.
The micro here, the micro potential of these stimmed Marines is so nice. They're just fast. The cutting is really good. 4th base of soO trying to come up, but the Marines are there.
Yeah, the Terran player is still pushing off a very low economy from this opening. He's only got 50 workers against a Zerg that is getting up to 4 bases. 1-1 on the way for the Zerg. If soO can hold on for a minute or two, he should be in an okay position. The creep did buy him
working on that Carapace upgrade.
Yeah. Wow, 17 roaches are on that production tab.
Yeah, but his 4th base might just be a cancel with the tank setup here.
Oh, big corrosive bile kills off a lot of those Marines.
Is he going to let that hatch finish?
There is a world.
Oh my gosh, he totally does. He's not saving that. He's not saving it.
No, you're right. soO's got so much stuff, though. Like, this is a lot of Zerg.
He does. He's going to live, but he's not saving that 4th base. He should have canceled it.
Yeah, I think if he collapses on this army, potentially, though, he can just clean this up. And that's going to be bad news for
upgrade
Future.
Is done. Swinging around the backside. Making these tanks worry about multiple angles is exactly how you want to do this. Every tank dies. The Marines need to evac. I mean, Future could take some solace in that he did kill that 4th base of soO's, and he needs a new one as soon as possible, and he's doing that.
Yeah. That was an okay trade, it looks like, for Future. Army supplies are not too far apart from one another. And Future now getting an extra eBay, getting the armory on the way. He's got that 3rd base. Gonna repair up his injured medivacs. I like to see that.
Hey, Samicron in the house. What's up, Sami? Yeah, Future's just like, we're not going to make a Spire today. Like, I don't have to worry about my medevacs at all. Just fly them wherever I want.
Yeah, it looks like he did get another cancel on that base as well.
Yep, which is really big. Like, amazing stuff here. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about Zergs who say our only splash damage is corrosive bile against Terran. Not a big fan of it. He's getting tunneling claws. That's interesting.
soO goes down the ramp into a lot of stim Terran bio, eating some tank shots in the process, taking a terrible, terrible fight.
16 more roaches in production. He's got 70 workers. He is just flowing right now on macro.
Yeah. The 2-2 still a ways away for soO. Once he has that, his Roach Ravager will be infinitely better. Future, afraid of taking the full fight, gonna elect to try and drop in the main base. He chickens out though as he flew over creep and gave soO a lot of advanced warning. Gonna unload, kill off a Roach. Does he get that tumor in the process? No, he doesn't.
God, so many roaches. soO's maxed out on Roach Ravager. That Tunneling Claws upgrade is finishing. He doesn't have Burrow, which is funny. I think he started Tunneling Claws on accident.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess you can't use Tunneling Claws without Burrow, eh?
No, hilariously. Man, he is just face-mashing his way in here. It's kind of working. It's 100 supply to 45 here in favor of soO. SCVs are trying to block as much as they can. They're dying by the tens here. 20 of them have gone down. Thanks, Samacon, for clicking the claim code button. 24 SCVs die, but Future does manage to hold and force soO to fall back. But he's got 14 more roaches in production.
Yeah, it's that classic Terran conundrum of holding on, but at what cost? And now he's got a boost on out of there. The army supply is very misleading as well, as Future has got most of it in medivacs, or at least a good chunk. His 2-2 is not yet done, so his bio is not particularly strong. Roaches volley down a Marauder. Future keeps trying to take a fight. It's an interesting tactic, keeping soO's attention, and then he's at least got a couple tanks to retreat to, so that's actually an interesting play by Future. The fact that he's like, come on, soO, attack me. I know you don't want to attack me just yet. soO wants to go for the big break, but Future has been continuously pressuring him, and looks like he's going to try and do it again. Yeah, soO's like, oh, I have to fight right here? He wants to be corrosive biling tanks.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fight in the middle of the map here at all. What's up, Phil? Phil Epic Bread in the house. Thanks for joining the stream. One of my subscribers making it over.
Welcome.
Alright, so 2-2's done for soO. Future's 2-2 is now finished up. Equal upgrades. Future's going to trade out better here. And yeah, it's a massive army supply difference here for soO, but the longer the game goes on, the worse Roach Ravager is against Terran. And soO finally throws up a Baneling nest for the first time today. Like, he has not made Banelings at all in the first two games and 12 minutes into the third game. Infestation Pit coming in for him as well as Future fires up his 3-3. Marauder heavy comp, which is going to be pretty good against these Banes anyway. And yeah, I'm surprised that soO hasn't tried to take that top right base yet. But he does have 5 bases rolling, and I guess that's good enough for now. Kind of knock down this debris, get himself a nice attack path. He splits off a group to go and take this high ground siege tank down. He can't quite get it. He has to sacrifice like 3 or 4 more roaches to take down that siege tank. He just anticipated the amount of damage there. Infestors in production, 42 lings on the way. Baneling speed getting researched. He is moving into Banelings and Infestors as additional types of splash damage here against what Future is doing.
Yeah, that it's impressive that Future's been able to hold on this long. That tank line at his third base has been very important. soO, though, will have those better tools soon enough. The Banelings, the Infestors. No 6, though. You there, Falcon?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. We did have a bit of roboting a second ago.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I think we're good now.
Okay.
All right, man. Centrifugal Hook's finishing up here fairly soon. Got a lot of Banelings up. This changes everything for this battle.
It does. Future is gonna have 3-3 though, and he's maxed out as Terran. Oh man,
Always
the
nice.
infestors, the banelings coming on in. Baneling speed finishing up
There's
now.
the fungal. Banelings crashing into the fungal units. Marauders eating it. Finally, Sue's getting burrow, hilariously. But yeah, Future able to concave out, deal with it here. Another fungal would be nice. Dodging corrosive biles for now, though.
Yeah, Future's making 6 Marauders at a time because he says 25 Marauders is not enough.
Yeah, but Adrenal's on the way, and 25 Lings just got fired up. Oh, turn them all into Banelings, though. So I don't know. The Marauders are going to soak up a lot of this Baneling damage for sure, but Adrenalings against this really heavy Marauder comp would be insanely powerful.
Yeah, Marauders.
What a battle this is. Coming around for the backside, getting a bit of a surround there. Banelings connecting on whatever they can. Future manages to slip away. Tank goes down. Marauder count heavy. Infestors on the front line. Has to wiggle to the back there. Corrosive Bile takes down a tank at the same time. The APM on these players is insane. Another massive fungal.
Look at the supply, though.
Enough Terran. Yeah, 69 to 50 army supply here in favor of Future. The Marauder count is hefty. He's making roaches in response to this. Why are you making more roaches?
I do not know. It's at least going to cost Sue a base, though. And Future maintains a big supply lead. He can potentially take this further. The 3-3 on the bio was so big. The Infestors and the Banelings are not an answer to Mass Marauder, really.
No, Adrenalings, yes, but Adrenal's not done yet, and these Lings don't have the greatest upgrades I've ever seen either. Another tank gets sniped, but at what cost? 44 Lings in production. Adrenal finishing in about 8 seconds. Going to be big, not enough, and Future takes it. Going up 2-1 here against Sue. Whew. USA indeed. Absolutely crazy impressive stuff here from Future. Some interesting choices, I would say, out of Sue. Maybe not getting into that splash damage quickly enough. That last round of roaches against a huge number of Marauders was definitely an issue. But fantastic showing. Future, he's one map away from getting into our final here against Classic.
Yeah. That would definitely be a fun to watch TVP. And if Future can take down Sue, maybe he can take down Classic. Either way, it'll be a great match following that up. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in to the SOOP Starcraft Global number 3.
Yeah, and thanks for everybody for clicking that Match Arena claim code button out there on the Match Arena link. Appreciate everyone who's done that so far. It just improves the prize pool for these players, everybody who's involved, and makes them more interested in coming back to our next one.
Yeah, we've got Kashem in chat. Hello, I believe he's one of the Liquipedia contributors, so big thank you for helping keep those updated.
Yeah, appreciate it. What's up, Kashim? Alright, man. So, Post-Youth, another weird map in the map pool.
Yeah, it's fitting for how weird this series has been. And this guy's been partly responsible for it. It's Future.
And in the bottom left, he's in a lot of trouble. One game from losing this thing, it's Sue. Yeah, when he got that delay on the command center for Future, I figured he was going to be ahead. He might be able to ride that kind of a lead to a win, but again, I just think these Zerg players are relying too heavily on Roach Ravager against these Terrans, who more and more often are just developing answers as a proxy Rax is going down. More and more often, more Marauders, more siege tanks being added in. And it's just going really well for the Terran players in a lot of situations. I mean, that said, Dark did win GSL.
Okay, it's going to be Reapers.
Yeah, we got the gas coming up.
My brain was just trying to figure out. I'm like, wait a second, Post-Youth, it's an in-base expo for the Zerg. How are you going to bunker that with a 2-Rax? Apparently the answer, float the Reapers over. Okay, there's that first Reaper on the way. It's going to take that Overlord a while to verify that there is no expansion for the Terran, as it is a further back base. Can this SCV get a bunker up? That would be hugely problematic for soO, and I'm not sure if he noticed that proxy. Now, there was a patch a while ago that did increase the vision of hatcheries, I believe.
Okay, so soO sees the bunker coming up, and immediately every warning bell in his head is coming in, because why would a bunker be coming up for no reason? That doesn't make any sense. There's got to be something, it's got to be Reapers, because otherwise, why? So the Reaper shows up, and construction resumes on that bunker. 6 lings are in production.
Yeah.
A second gas on the way.
Yeah, I think that's just to save the drone. The 2 lings will be able to deal with this SCV, and that is hugely problematic for future.
Oh, yeah. SCV down. Bunker not going to finish. Lings on creep. Oh, one of the Reapers gets wiped out. That's huge. That's huge. We're not going to stop making Reapers, though, man. Absolutely not. soO with that second gas. He's got to be throwing down a Roach Warren, I guess.
Oh, this is not good for future.
No, he's building a factory up back home.
He's just gonna commit to this because he's still going full tilt mining gas. Like,
yeah, that's interesting.
Super duper interesting. He will throw down a CC, but then still fully mining gas. The racks are just floating home now. That is just bonkers.
These Reapers cannot hop up this cliff. Don't do it, guys.
Great usage of the high ground from that barrack.
Barracks, yeah, providing some nice vision for sure.
Oh,
okay, but that's a dead Reaper, overextending there for sure. And every Reaper that dies part of a Reaper ball is just worse and worse. All right, man. So factory into a starport back home for future, and a third base getting fired up here from soO. As future second base coming up inside the main base. Very nice and easy peasy that way.
I would like to see a battle cruiser from future at this point. Do it, buddy. Come on.
We have not seen a battle cruiser in a TVZ.
I believe in you, future.
In years.
Oh, he's gone for a liberator. Coward.
Ah, coward's answer. Fine. Oh, Liberator. Lings are like, Hellions? Not yet.
Oh no, the Reapers died. Pardon my observing for missing that.
Bleh. Hey, soO's getting a Roach Warren. Alright.
Who'd have thunk? See? Battle cruisers are good against roaches.
They're so good. They got corrosive biles, kind of. I mean, they're fast enough to do that. Alright, Hellions on their way out. 9 rotation, gonna shut that down pretty easily. Stim getting fired up here from future. A Spore coming in, as he is worried about that Liberator, potentially a Banshee coming in. Having a Spore is worth its weight in gold in that situation. Yeah, 2 Ravagers in production here with all of the Roaches. Hellions diving on in, but they see the Lings, they see the Queens, and they're like, meh. Let us not go in there. 'Tis a silly place. Liberator fighting against Queens, not a good fight. And Queens against Hellions, pretty good too. Turns out Queen, early game unit, pretty good for Zerg. Yeah, 4th base coming in here from soO might actually be kind of vulnerable, except that Hellions are garbage at killing buildings, so that's not ideal. Liberator shows up. Queen's immediate. That's just an unsiege. You're just gonna die? Okay. Gonna kill a couple drones, like 3 drones, but also dead on the other side. Whoa! What the?
Pardon me for missing that.
Oh! Roach Ravager just kind of walked across the map, got to the front door of future, and there's nothing back home to stop this from happening. Wow. All right. Yeah, sneaky little run by there. Future had everything on the other side of the map and got punished for it. soO is able to sneak some Roach Ravager across there, and bam. Future had nothing to stop that from just ruining him on the other side, and that's a GG. All right, so we tied the series up. We're going to get a game 5 here, which is super exciting. The Proxy Reaper stuff did not go as well for Future as he wanted it to, that's for sure. And part of it is that bunker getting scouted, you know?
Yeah, I mean, just a out of meta choice by Future to go for the Reapers so far on the other side of the map. The bunker getting scouted. And then, like, there's a reason why lots of Terrans have been going for the 2 racks on their side of the map. So they can transition behind it.
Right. Much easier to do that. It doesn't hit as fast, but obviously those are the trade-offs. So we're going to be on Oceanborn for game number 5 here. The winner of this game will move on to our best of 7 against Classic.
Yeah.
So either way, I think that's going to be a fun matchup. I mean, obviously, if Future can win here, I'd love to see what he does against Classic, without a doubt. But if it's soO, that's a lot of fun as well.
Okay. Both players are ready, so we are loading into the final game of our second best of 5 today. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in to SSG number 3. That kind of rhymes.
I like it. SSG number 3. All right, Oceanborn, one of the more popular maps from the players, I'd say, in the current map pool. A lot of games on this map in professional tournaments. So bottom right, it's Future defeating soO here. I don't know if that would be the most impressive victory he's had in any kind of a tournament setting, but could be.
And in the top left, it's soO. Yeah, I mean, Future, he can take, like, a map off the really good players, like, the top pros every now and then. Like, I think he, maybe in, like, Nation Wars or, like, in some team tournaments he's delivered. As far as the big tournaments, he's never had, like, a humongous run. He's still always a hoot to watch, though, as the past 4 games have been proof of.
Absolutely. It's been entertaining along with everything else that's been going on here. Some really great macro out of Future, some weird build orders. He's been playing this extremely well. Let's see if he just plays it standard. Usually, like a game 5 and a best of 5 players are a little more cautious, a little more interested in playing it normal. And soO, yeah, just going hatch gas pool here. Nothing to worry about from the Zerg perspective at all. And then Future not proxying a thing. That barracks is coming up at the top of the ramp as intended by Jim Raynor himself. And a Reaper is on the way. So, I mean, this could not be a more standard of a ZVT. I mean, if you pay these players to pay more standard, there's just no way.
No, there really isn't.
Yeah, 1 gas here. Yeah, everything is extremely normal.
Future learning his lesson from an earlier map, going for a Marine, not just right into that reactor.
Yeah, there you go. Doesn't want to scout with the SCV, so let's make sure there's something back home in case it was a pool first. I guess you can kind of split the difference that way.
Oh. Okay, there we go. Reactor on the way now. Good micro on the Lings by soO.
Yeah, does not lose a single slow Ling, although I spoke too soon. No, gets saved by the Queens.
Good bounce.
And he does evac effectively. Nicely done, sir. It's not easy. That was good micro by Future. Yeah, and soO just casually getting Ling speed. Making extra Queens. Droning. Third base on the way. I mean, this is as standard can possibly get here. And I don't know, at what point does a Roachworn become standard, I guess is my question, because we're seeing it so much from these Korean Zergs especially.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I guess part of the benefit of the Roach Ravager is that it makes Widow Mines less good. Like, Widow Mines just really struggle against Ravagers especially.
Oh yeah,
whereas,
they're useless.
You know, right. Whereas, like, one miscontrol with a Baneling group, they all die to a Widow Mine, and it's like, I guess that's a GG. It's a lot easier to be effective against the Banes.
Yeah, it is an earlier
style.
style.
We're seeing more Roach.
A less punishing style, that's for sure.
Yeah. And there we go. Roachworn from soO, which we will call standard from him, because absolutely.
Yeah, getting it nice and early this match. Just gonna have it so we'll be able to make any necessary defensive units against potential future aggression. Future's aggression, no pun intended. Third command center on the way for the Terran, so he is just going into a nice, respectful macro game. soO is making 7-8 roaches, though, and that is an aggressive amount of roaches.
Yeah, stop making drones at 40. This could be a 2.5 base Roach Ravager all-in, which is extremely hard to deal with if you don't have any Banshees, and Future does not have any Banshees.
He does fire up a couple of Lings. Or a couple of drones, pardon me.
Oh, you're right. Now he's into 4 or 5 more workers, so yeah. Less chance of an all-in here. He wants that command center, man. He's sending these roaches. But I don't think he's going to be able to kill it. Hellions see him coming. Lair's on the way, so these are not going to be speed roaches for a while.
That command still going to be tight, though.
Nah, it's going to finish and it's going to lift. It'll be fine.
10 seconds remaining on that CC.
Unless they can they snipe the SCV building it is the larger question.
Yeah, they can.
Gosh, never mind.
No, this is so much damage.
Right. Wow. Roach is doing way more damage there than I thought they would. Gets a supply depot too. Brutal. Dude, this little group of roaches is doing way too much damage to Future.
Yeah, Future
supply
needed
blocking him even.
He needed to have an SCV on that preemptively, like to replace the one that died.
100%.
And he maybe could have got it up, but instead that is just so much damage that soO got done. Future's building a third. It's not even on location, but it's massively delayed compared to what he planned.
Brutal.
The one game that Future is like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll play a normal macro game. soO punishes it hard.
Alright, he's got 21 workers in his main base, which is weird. Like, why do you have so many drones over here, man? Don't do that.
Yeah, it is a little bizarre.
I don't think that I've seen 21 workers at a main from a Zerg player in a long time, at least not at this level. I guess he could just transfer them all to his 4th base at some point, but it seems strange to have them here. 1-1 coming in from Future, combat, shield, armory, but man, getting that 3rd base canceled is a huge deal.
Yeah, he's so far behind. He hasn't even started his 4th and 5th racks yet. So, like, he's got a decent army now, but soO's production is just going to explode and outpace him. If Future doesn't take a great fight here, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. A changeling moves down the ramp. Future right-clicks on that, kills it off. And now he's going to test the waters to try and kill this Zerg. However, it's 90 supply of Roach Ravager uphill on creep. I don't know if Future wants the smoke.
He does not. Absolutely not. He's going to land his 3rd base and be happy for it. That Carapace upgrade still not finished, but yeah, soO's at 100 supply of Roach Ravager. 175 to 122 overall right now. 70 workers. His economy is on fire, on fuego.
Okay,
so at some point,
Future does catch soO's army incredibly out of position. He's going to get a couple of queens.
Yeah, a couple roaches die real easy there too, but
yeah, the Zerg does reposition.
The army's on creep. He's just going for this. Absolutely. Future sees it and just bails. Just immediately unsieges and falls back. He knows he can't lose an army like this, or the counterattack is going to kill him. Yeah. So he's got to keep everything alive that he possibly can. It's just it's a maxed out Roach Ravager army, man, with 1-1 now.
Future does have a decent number of tanks, 2 set up already, 2 more coming home in that medivac. soO's not giving him the time really to get them set up though, as the Zerg comes in with a great concave. Krosabal kills one of the tank. Future does have lots of medivacs to heal up this bio. However, SCVs have perished en masse. The tanks are shelling away, but even if it's an okay trade for Future, it's not enough. It looks like he falls to 86 supply against a Zerg that has 23 more roaches on the way.
Yeah, 71 to 49 workers. Future third base is a ghost town.
I mean,
so it just got too much economy.
In game number 3, Future did hold on in a somewhat similar position. High Zerg eco, but he's just really far behind this time. 2-2 not yet done for Future. Once that's done, that will be important. I love this poking that he does with the bio. He constantly is engaging the Zerg, preventing soO from just setting up for the perfect attack that he wants. Still, though, I'm not sure Future's going to be able to stop the next attack.
114 to 63 army supply is depressing.
Yeah, that is double.
Yeah, you can have all the Marauders you want, all the tanks you want in that situation. Although I guess maybe if it was 70 supply of tanks, maybe it'd work, but...
you may be onto something.
His way in here. Splash damage, except for Corrosive Bile, which is used on tanks anyway.
Yeah, 2-2 finishes up a little bit too late. Future loses another 20 SCVs. Even if by some miracle he holds, it's not enough. And soO shows us he is still a great Korean Zerg and is able to bring down Future.
Yeah, Future taking 2 maps I'm impressed by. Like, well done, dude. Like, keep grinding. You've got the potential here for sure. But yeah, against somebody like soO, getting that third base canceled or killed was just way too much of an obstacle to overcome. And in that last game, rough stuff. So we're going to go into our finals now between Classic and soO. Lots of Unclassic's been waiting around a bit, but he's ready and raring to go. Going to be a best of 7, which is a ton of fun. And people who've been waiting for Classic in chat, we hear you, and it's almost time. So I'm going to take a break here for a couple minutes, but go ahead, sign up here for SOOP, create your username, hit the heart button here to follow. You can subscribe. You can thumbs up the stream too. Only 10 people have thumbs up. We have 130 people watching. So let's go ahead and thumbs up that stream, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for our finals. It's going to be an epic PvZ best of 7.
Certainly epic. It is soO, it is classic, it is two legends of the game who've been doing this for so long. And somebody's got to win here. And who's it going to be? Let's find out.
Yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning in to SSG number 3. It's been going pretty smoothly. If you have any other issues with the stream, let us know. I know Phoenix had a bit of buffering for a minute there, but feedback like that I'm sure is appreciated, and we can pass that on. Now, in the top right-hand side of the map, representing Weeboo Gaming, it is soO.
And the bottom left from Twisted, it's classic. We can see the carriers in this matchup from classic. I bet we are at some point.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Bet $5 we see carriers in this matchup somewhere.
You'd take that deal? I'd take that deal.
Yeah, without a doubt. The whole hybrid carrier thing with the High Templar and the Archons and the carriers and the Void Rays, and it's tricky. It's tricky for Zergs to handle, even if you're the best.
We are on Classic's map pick as well, so if he's comfortable doing a strategy like that, and he has pick of the litter, Alcyone's not a bad one for that, I don't think.
No. Classic took down Dark with the Sky Toss comp. I want to say last summer. Part of a GSL, I want to say it was too. And it's just like, oh, all right. Classic's real good at this. And if you can take down Dark with it, he can definitely beat soO with it, I would say. So, as far as this game goes, we're going to go for the 1-gate expand timing classic. Very standard stuff. Hatch gas pool here out of soO's side of the map. Probe playing the mineral gathering harassing game. soO knows how to play it too. The whole point is just to mess up with the efficiency of these drones mining these minerals. It's a weird thing, but it totally works.
It's a game within the game.
Yeah, who's the first person I saw do this?
Oh gosh.
Man,
I don't know, but
maybe it was Petit Drogo, like forever ago.
No, someone must have been
that...
doing it before him, yeah.
No, certainly. I'm just saying the first one that I personally saw, I think, was Petit Drogo. But you're right. I mean, he wasn't the first person to do it. Oh, and he loses the game by getting a mouthful of minerals. Very sad stuff. But at least those are minerals that will not be going towards the Zerg swarm, so that's nice. Every little advantage. Stargate opening does not mean carrier. Stargate opening is as very standard as you can get in this matchup. You got the Phoenix available. You got the Oracles available. You can make a Void Ray and snipe Overlords. There is no wrong choice with the Stargate opening, friends. Do whatever your heart tells you to do. It'll be a good choice. Seriously. I mean, Oracle may be the most popular opening. But I don't know. Zergs are pretty good at dealing with Oracle harass these days.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Oracle.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Oracle gets fired up.
Stargate is the most popular for a reason.
Yep. Just so versatile, too. Really prevents the Zerg player from getting a Spire opening under any circumstances in this matchup. Just the threat of Phoenix is so strong. Alright, man. So soO's got his speed finishing up on his Lings. He got a third base. For now, it's just a drone, saturate those bases. Fourth base timing, maybe coming around 4.5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. And we'll see what tech choice it is from soO here. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of ZVPs featuring soO recently. A lot of ZVT, certainly. I'm curious to see if he's going to try to make Roaches work here. Roach Ravager against the Protoss. Still very good. It might be better against Protoss than it is against Terran, so... As there's no Spore yet, so 2 drones go down. Oh, but the Oracle eats it.
That is not worth it.
No.
Second Oracle comes on in, runs promptly into 2 queens, and this is such a good opening for soO. Classic elects to follow this up with a Forge, with a Twilight Council, so going to be transitioning into Blink. Most likely.
Most likely.
Multiple Adepts are crossing the map. Going to take that Watchtower.
Yeah, it could be Resonating Glaives.
It could be.
But yeah, I wouldn't put money on that.
There's the +1. And show me Blink.
And Twilight says Blink. Nice. Great call. Alright, so Roach War in here to deal with these Adepts. Queens supporting against the Oracles. All is well. Nice Revelation snipe on that Creep Tumor. Super annoying for soO. Ooh, Adepts thought about finishing that. Shade didn't quite do it, though.
Yeah.
Double Oracle swinging into the Nat. Queens are out of position. There's 1 queen here, but good Oracle micro.
I do like
down a few workers
how
here.
Classic elected to go for the 3rd Oracle instead of just saying, I lost 1, I'll manage with 1.
Agreed.
This Queen gonna take a little bit of heat. One Ling runs on in. Did see 2 Stalkers warping in. Whether soO saw that or not is a question, but once he does see the Stalkers, he will be able to safely assume, yeah, it's a Mass Blink play I'm up against. There's a Templar Archives on the way behind this.
And Storm? Fire up Storm, maybe?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, Chrono Boosting Storm. I love it. Yeah, he used Storm to great effect against GuMiho in our first best of 5, so more Storm for Classic seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
soO's Hydra Den about 3% complete. I would be shocked if we didn't see Lurkers after that Hydra Den finishes. They're really good in this matchup too. There's a lot of good options. That's what I like about ZVP. Just every unit has its place here.
Oh,
There's just
definitely,
nothing
yeah.
that you never ever see. Tempest have a place. DTs have a place. Broodlords have a place. Ooh, Wing gets in for a scout. That hurts.
Blink after him. Kill him.
Too fast. Too darn fast.
This is a nice scout for
in.
soO.
It's a great scout for soO. And he's going to get a probe kill out of it. No, he does get a probe kill right before he gets exploded. Probes are decent fighters. It is a Lurker Den. Okay, so soO's good in Lurks. Getting a Hive so we can get further upgrades on those Lurkers. And it's going to be a Hydra Lurker play here. Storm pretty good in that situation. Certainly you want some Immortals to deal with the Lurkers too, which are in production 2 at a time. So Classic knows what he's doing. He knows what he's up against. And this is going to be a pretty epic game 1.
No battery at this 4th base yet for Classic. Oh, pardon me. I looked at the production tab and saw 3 cannons building, and I was like, oh, they're all building at the 4th. Never mind. Classic is getting up lots of that static defense. He's now got a fleet beacon, Stargate on the way, so he will eventually head to that air fleet. However, the Immortals on the ground are gonna sandbag him until he can reach that, and they pack a punch.
All right, man. You know what a lot of Protoss say is, you know how you don't have to deal with Lurkers is if you make carriers. It's a decent answer to the Lurk because they can't shoot up, but man, they are good against ground stuff. As, yeah, Seismic Spines is finishing up here. Lurker eggs are popping, +2 missile attack on the way. I just don't know that Classic's done a good enough job kind of harassing so far. This is, I guess the Adepts were sort of trying to do that, but soO's pretty happily on 80 workers and feeling comfy.
He is. At the same time, so is Classic.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 4 bases. He's getting up his 3rd Stargate, so he can start to make carriers. And maybe maxes out at 200, 200. I do see soO having a hard time engaging a maxed out army of Classic. It's funny, there's a lot of Zealots here for Classic already. However, it seems he forgot charge. Lurkers for soO are coming in for a bit of a run by. That could force a recall potentially. A Revelation goes down, however the Lurkers are already sieged up. This means that Classic is going to have to attack into his own base.
Oh, denying air weapons level 1. The Cybernetics core goes down. Storm on these Lurkers. They got a lot of HP. Zealots getting obliterated here. This concave is insane for soO.
GG.
Yo!
Checkmate, says soO.
That's how you deal with carriers. You kill the Protoss before the carriers pop. That was nuts. Wow, that was a little tiny bit of timing. And yeah, he was able to sneak across the map, get set up outside of the natural base of Classic, get those Lurkers burrowed down, take out the Cybercore, bust open the door. Lings are inside. There are a ton of Lurkers, and just Storm doesn't do enough to Lurkers to take them out as quickly as you need them to die. And the positioning was so good from soO, too. What a great game one.
I was getting ready for us to build into this, like, 30-minute epic late-game PvZ, and soO's like, I'm going for it. I'm running.
Yeah, soO's like, well, I'm maxed out on Hydro Lurker Ling. Let's go. And I mean, anytime you can show up at the natural base of your opponent with Lurkers, and like you said, force the Protoss to try to bust past the Lurkers into their own natural, that is such a tough place to be as Toss. You cannot be happy about that.
Yeah, no, that game just ran away from Classic.
Yeah, he's all maxed out. He's getting into carriers. He's going to force these Lurkers to, like, kill themselves because they don't have any value. Tons of value.
I'm a little bummed out at that one, to be honest. I was ready for the late game.
We were setting up for one for sure.
No, in the top left, the man who just took the sneaky win, it's soO.
And in the bottom right, it's our guy, Classic.
I am wondering if Classic is going to do like an extreme pivot following that. Potentially go for like a charge or adept timing. Site Delta is his map pick once again, though, due to the format we use, so he should be confident on it.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what he decides to do with the tech when we get there. But yeah, man, Classic's maxed out. He's got Storm, he's got Immortals. He's just got everything your heart could desire, and then one run by, one bad position for you. Kind of misses what the Protoss or Zerg player is doing, and you're toast. Gonna play the mineral game again here.
Do, do, do.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody like take credit for being the first, though.
No, doesn't it date back to Brood War, maybe, or
No.
no? It doesn't.
Doesn't
Happen in Brood War.
I don't think I saw it until maybe late Heart of the Swarm. Even nobody ever did this in Wings of Liberty.
No, the players weren't good enough.
Yeah. Even I mean, even at this stage of the game where you're not doing anything else, didn't have the APM quite available for this.
Yeah, I know if I try and do that, it'll be a disaster back at my base. So.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, thought I threw down a Nexus. Yeah, pretty classic Slowlings running around. Speed getting fired up. Third base at 240. Stargate opening. ZVP at its greatest. I'd like to see soO go for a proxy hatch at some point in this series. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things in StarCraft. It's not particularly good, but by golly, it makes games interesting. Adept does not finish the shade. Lings go back working on those unbuildable rocks. Adept continues to shade in, scouting for stuff. Nothing to see. There's not a lair. There's not a run. It's just a very normal, pulled everybody off gas, drone play here from soO in the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Interesting that this Overlord was getting pushed away, but then turns around.
Yep. Overlord perching spot is where he lives.
Oracle will be popping out. This is going to allow
Overlord
that kill to happen.
Yeah. soO immediately fires up an Overlord to replace the one that is going to die.
Okay, and there's a blink. Or a twilight follow-up, pardon me. I shouldn't just say blink. It very well could not be.
Yeah, but statistically, probably.
Yeah.
Could be a Resonating Glaives thing. We had in Afrika World last year where I was like, Resonating Glaives against an Elite Zerg player. Then it totally worked. So who knows? Who knows what the future will hold? God, that early queen damage is so big on these oracles. Ow. Ow. Just look at these drones running too. Ooh. Bit of a shot there on the hatchery, hilariously. Which always reminds me of when Haz was using the busted oracles to burn down hatcheries.
That was the best timeline.
It was a crazy timeline.
When we had a full WCS of it.
Yeah. Haz was just going mass oracle and like entire hatcheries were just exploding.
Yeah, we need that back.
I don't know that we do, but that would be fun. Zergs would be so mad. Good sniping on the creep tumors. Yeah, I want to say that was 15 or 16, maybe.
The year?
It was this. Yeah, it was this glorious, glorious window.
I think 2015, because yeah, that was when Neeb was really good.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, look, it's Resonating Glaives.
Hey, how about that?
It's not even that many adepts. How many adepts does he have? 13? Okay. There's roaches already in production. There's a bunch of queens here. But all right.
Here they go.
Yeah.
Queens are awkwardly waddling as the adepts complete their shade, and the roaches aren't popping just yet. 5 dead drones to start this off.
Transfuses trying to keep these queens alive. The damage output is way too much. They shade into the main base. Drones evacuating. Roaches fighting. More and more roaches being produced. And 15 drones have died here. What did I say about Resonating Glaives just a second ago? 20 drones. 21.
Oh, no.
The roaches are chasing 30 drones. 30.
soO's just dead.
Oh. Yeah, no, it's 62 to
He is still losing drones. The adepts haven't been cleaned up.
It's getting worse.
The fire's still burning. Oh,
38 drones is like the highest number I've seen on that Game Heart counter in a while.
Oh,
he's not done yet.
39.
Yeah, if soO wins this, it's going to be a miracle. A miracle game. 43!
He's still trying, but oh no!
50! 52!
GG, there it is. Oh my gosh.
I don't know that I've ever seen 56 on that counter before.
That was ridiculous. soO's like, all right, 54 drones, no problem. 55, too many. I'm out. Holy cow.
I think it topped out at 56, I think, Aki. Absolutely bananas. That works. It still works, man.
Yeah. Holy Holy cow.
He just walks in the front door. It's some beautiful shading from him. Obviously. I mean, man, I got a screenshot of the 50, but I didn't get the 56. But I've got the replay, so I can grab it from there. I'm gonna post that on Twitter. Like, look at it.
That's worth posting on Twitter.
Looks like Sue wants Oceanborn. Again, very standard map. Goodness.
Okay, we are getting both players into the lobby, and all of a sudden we're looking at a tied-up series.
Yeah, man. What a spectacular way to tie up the series at 1. Now Soup is struggling to load for me. Crazy. Ooh, Starcraft wanted to crash for a second, but it recovered. We're fine.
Okay. It's a best of 7, tied up 1-1 in the bottom right. We have got Twisted Classic, and he is a little bit twisted after that last match.
I'm feeling good about it, though. And in the top left, Sue's like, who does that? Who does that?
Yeah, that was a war crime.
Yeah, in a professional game, 56 drones killed. 1 attack. Alright, man. Gateway coming in, not doing anything crazy like a Nexus first. That'd be a lot of fun. Sue on the other side is definitely going hatch gas pool. Phoenix has never seen... You've never seen a Resonating Glaive Adept game beat a Zerg before? Or 56 workers dead before? Again, I'm not sure I've seen it either. Definitely lower level games, yes. Like diamond level, silver, bronze level, and someone's entire economy just gets murderized. But my goodness. It's time for the game. Yeah, 1 gate expand, very normal. Hatch finishing, no attempt at a hatch block here. I haven't seen that at all today. First 2 games, none. Third game, none. Can do it on Oceanborn, right? I think this is a hatch block timing map.
Yeah. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, I need to like keep track of a list because there's definitely a list. Stargate firing up. We're gonna get probably another Oracle. Don't see why not.
Lings chase that probe down. Looks like they will actually kill it.
Bam! Got him. Get it? Got it? Good.
Classic right now is probably wondering why all his adept all-ins don't kill that many workers.
Oh, I didn't notice Classic has the Starcraft logo. Nice.
Yeah. That was one of the best things Blizzard added to the game, like the teeny tiny logos on units.
Yeah. Very fun. Adept gon' die. All right, Sue. What's the plan here in game number 3?
Oracle will reveal that Overlord on the high ground. There's 4 Lings out, but not enough to kill off that Stalker. He may try his luck, though, at least force out the Pulsar Beam. He's going to do just that, then get out of there.
There you go. That's a win. Can't save the Overlord. Get what you can get. Spores on the way at 4 minutes, which again is just a little bit too late, but I guess if you kept the Oracle on the other side of the map long, you could delay your spores a bit. Lings for soO get into Classic's third base. There's an Adept here. He's not enough to save the day. Another Adept has to warp in to help save the day, and another Adept warps in to save the day.
Yeah.
Got it.
The Adepts had to be relied upon as the 2 Oracles were committed on the other side of the map. We'll see if Classic can grab anything. He micros those, so the one with the higher shield will take the shots from the Spore. He does get 2 drone kills. But ultimately, that's not too much.
soO's sending more Lings down to that third base.
He is.
I don't know that he has enough. He's also droning, so he's not like going crazy with it. Yeah, that Adept positioning says absolutely not. Can't get into the natural base either with the Stalker body there. So just being active with the Lings, putting some fear of Zerg into Classic. Roachwarren getting fired up because boy does soO love his roaches. He's gotten a Roachwarren in every single game he's played today. Yeah, that was nice. 5 more drones go down to the Pulsar Beam. Zap, zap, zap. Queen's not quite in perfect position to handle it, and there is the pain. All right, soO. You're going to get a 4th base. You're going to go after Classic's 3rd base. What's your plan here? Needs a 4th soon, I would say. Sooner rather than later. We're coming up on 6 minutes. He keeps trying to poke those Lings into the 3rd base and see what's going on down there, but no, nothing happening. Wow, 25 workers at that base again. And there we go. 4th base coming up at the 12 o'clock spot.
Yeah, we're now starting to see Classic move out with its initial warping of Stalkers. 1 Oracle does take a lot of heat. Will stay alive, however, these Stalkers have got to be careful until they have Blink before they step out too far. Lings are going for a surround. They will grab 1, 2, and the Oracle, as that was injured. The AI pathed it into the Queens. Miss micro by Classic. He got a little greedy and took some damage as a result. On the other side of the map, 2 Adepts somehow made it to soO's side of the map and killed off 4 drones. Oh, another Oracle gonna go down, it looks like, though. Just barely survives.
Wow. You can't even see the HP color on that bar.
Is it 1 HP? 1 HP.
Insane. Classic throwing up a Robo Bay behind all this. So what do we think? Disruptors? Probably. Against Roaches? Better than Colossus for sure.
Yeah. Stalker,
nice.
Disruptor, or...
Yeah, I'm picking Disruptor here against this Roach Ravager play.
Okay, there's...
Still oversaturating his base.
2-1 researching for Classic, so he's going to have real nice upgrades in a minute here. soO's poking out. Classic has got to be careful with his Stalkers, but he's maintaining this map position as he wants to prevent that Zerg just from attacking him as he feels like. Queens, though, are starting to move out as well, so it looks like soO is committing quite a bit to this attack. Classic has got to pull back with his Stalkers before he loses too many. He doesn't, or he has 1 battery far back at the 3rd base. Stasis Ward gets dropped down. Crossbow by soO. Laser point precision takes that out. Here's the 2 Colossus, though, that Classic did end up making.
Yep, so not Disruptor after all.
Oh, he's got to be careful.
Look at them. God, focusing down. The Immortal gets wiped out. That's a big deal here. It's 116 to 50 army supply, but
yeah,
Shield Battery Overcharge is a great equalizer. And the range on these Colossus, even without Extended Thermal Lance, is pretty good against Roach Ravager. But man, soO, again, just mashing his face in here. He's up 150 army supply. He hasn't quite taken out these
Jeez.
Colossus, but pretty much everything else is dying, and I think Classic might just tap here.
I think you're right. Like, soO just came in with overwhelming numbers to kill this Protoss. Classic was trying to get up a 4th base, but he couldn't even defend his 3rd here. A Disruptor is rolling in, but the Zerg is rather fanned out right now, so they're not going to be too useful. Another one comes on in. It may get targeted before it even gets its Nova off. It does get it off, but still, Classic is in a really rough spot. He's warping in more Stalkers, trying to hold on. The Zerg did have some Queens that never joined the fight, which could actually prove problematic, as it looks like Classic may just stabilize here.
Yeah, but he's dead. He's down 64 to 26 army supply, 71 to 51 workers. He lost 23 probes, which isn't 56 probes, mind you. But it is still a huge chunk. Finally transferring those drones over to that 4th base, hilariously. And throwing up a Spire. Hold on.
soO isn't going for a follow-up kill move, it looks like, just yet. As I say that, though, he does make more roaches, getting some more lings out. Classic fires up 3-2 amidst all this. Like, he's got 100 supply, and he's like, I need upgrades. That is so risky by Classic. If soO does elect to attack again, I don't think the Protoss is going to hold on.
No, definitely not. I get mutas, corruptors.
I think corruptors.
Yeah. 90 to 30 army supply is pretty brutal.
Yeah, soO, I guess, didn't want to commit and try and go for the killing blow. He just said, I got enough damage and I'll play it out. He is giving Classic time of day, though. Classic's up to 71 probes again, so he can just start making units.
Yeah, that's huge. It's 11 Mutalisks.
Yeah, the static defense situation isn't that good. There's nothing in the main, nothing in the natural, nothing in the 4th.
Oh, yeah. He's getting a +1 flyer attack. He's getting up 14.
Double immortals are being made.
These mutas are just going to show up, and Classic's going to be like, oh.
Yeah.
It feels like a, oh, GG moment here. What a weird tech switch into Mutalisks. So yeah, they're going to fly right into the natural base. Like you said, no static defense, no shield batteries, no cannons back there.
Here they come.
No Archons at all. Good reaction time getting the probes out of there, but like... Ow, 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 ow.
That's pretty much it. The Stalkers can come in and deal with the mutas potentially here. Push them away. soO can maneuver with his roaches and lings, though, while the Stalkers are bullying Classic. That's the scary thing. Classic, I don't think, has enough to fight both the mutas and the roaches right now.
No, sure doesn't look like it.
He's making one Phoenix with one already out, getting a Stargate on the way, a couple of cannons, make that a boatload of cannons. In come the mutas, though, positioning towards the 4th. Good blink. 2 mutas for nothing. soO's being surprisingly passive this game. After that initial attack, he has not moved in with his roaches and lings ever since, despite having 3k in the bank. He's just making more mutas, getting up an infestation pit, another hatchery. He's giving Classic the time he needs to rebuild in this game.
Yeah, he had him down to 30 workers. He's back up to 73. The Phoenix group is up and ready to go here. I don't know. That might have been a mistake from soO to try to wait for these mutas. Let the ground army build back up. It's back up and 170 supply for Classic here. Scary stuff.
Of course,
Bailings are up.
of course, we have the perfect information, so it's easy to critique soO for that. Yeah, at the same time, though.
It's so rare to go mutas. Like, there's a reason we don't see them in this matchup very often.
Oh, yeah, like, he killed, like, 9 probes with it, but
Right.
it was only 9 probes to make 18 mutas. He's now going for the attack. There was one stasis ward that gets activated. Banelings are crashing forward. A Colossus takes the brunt of it after a battery overcharge is short-lived. There are High Templar out, but no Psystorm. Psystorm just starts researching now for Classic, so that's late. The Mutas, though, while this was going on, were not able to do much, seeing as how there's a massive Phoenix count for the Protoss. Now, Classic has got to micro those Phoenix. He cannot forget about them, and he loses 2, as he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, this is brutal. Corruptor is joining the party here, and a Hive's coming in too. I wonder if we're going to get some Broodlords in this matchup.
Yeah. I
or
wouldn't
maybe
mind
Corruptors
that.
just to deal with the Phoenix, and then maybe the Mutas are more effective. Did they all die, actually? Hold on.
No.
No, there's 18 Mutas running around.
They're just not doing that much.
No, but now they have Corruptors to protect them against the Phoenix. At least. Yeah, there we go. Corruptors fighting. Phoenix don't like that at all. And yeah, SOO's taking this from a game where he was way up into one where he's fighting for his life, honestly. Classic is maxed out. He's got 3-2 upgrades for his ground units, but the Mutas dive bombing in here with Corruptor Escort now. Depowering some Warp Gates.
Yeah, Stalkers will be required to help push this back. What I don't understand is why SOO is not attacking in with his roaches and lings while he's doing this. It's
microing
the perfect
too
window.
Hard. It is. He's microing too hard with these Mutas and these Corruptors, because you're right. There is perfect window here for the Roach Bane to crush a base, but he's just sitting there with them, not doing anything at all. He's got an Ultralisk Cavern on the way. He doesn't have supply for that. Crashing the Roaches and Banelings into that base and killing it and then freeing up supply for Ultras would have been a great move. He's got 6,000 minerals and 3,000 gas in the bank. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know how many Banelings that is he could have made, but it's a lot. Instead, he's making Mutas and kind of just playing around here.
Yeah, he's gonna maybe snipe an Assimilator. Nope, can't quite pull that off.
Yeah, like, what's he waiting for with this Roach Ravager?
Caustic Spray gonna knock down this attempt at a 5th base by Classic pretty easily. Especially with the Muta support. So there's that to cancel. Muta's gonna get out. Archon hit is damaging.
Yeah, the Mutas are getting really punished. So are the Corruptors. SOO's now gonna go on in. The natural base hasn't been re-walled by Classic, so those warp gates can't, you know, warp in. A recall has to get used to defend against this. Banelings will roll towards that third base. There's a lot of grouped up probes, but it's amazing what happens when SOO actually decides to attack. Gets some probes, gets a lot more.
Yeah, 13, not the end of the world, but not great either. And yeah, Ultralisks coming in while you're building Phoenix. Phoenix can't lift Ultras, obviously. But you're still worried about this Muta stuff, and I don't think SOO cares about it.
Yeah. The Roaches are now getting punished heavily. Classic 3-3 Protoss force is no joke, so SOO does need those Ultras to deal with this ground army. He's got...
Although... I mean, there are a bunch of Immortals, and so I think these Ultras are just going to die.
Yeah, and there is Psystorm too. Is SOO going to die with like a 5k bank here?
Sure looks like it.
Okay, Psystorm goes down. In come the Mutas behind this.
Oh, the blink.
Yeah, the Stalkers.
The blink to the backside, and the Immortals just chonking these, transfusing the Ultras, but no. Dead. Colossus goes down. 60 Lings in production, which is actually pretty good against a Stalker Immortal composition like this.
Oh my gosh, there's 144 Lings on the production tab, 8 Ultras.
Dude just blew through his entire bank.
That is ridiculous, but it may be enough to crush this army.
Yep.
I mean, not if he trickles it out bit by bit, but...
No.
He's going to take the fight with only a fraction of this force without the Ultralisk, but he says, I got Zerglings.
Yeah, Immortals are no answer for this at all. The Blink Stalkery can be Blink Stalkering, but these are Adrenal Wings with 2-2? 2-1? Not the greatest upgrades of all time, but it was definitely enough.
What is this game?
It's a crazy one. So yeah, now that the Immortals are dead, suddenly the Ultras are like, hey, what's up? Why is SOO making more Corruptors? For what reason does he need more Corruptors?
I do not know, but I think Classic is dead. 8 Ultras for soO. It just goes to show how far ahead he was in this game.
Yeah.
That he was able to be in such a rough position and then come back. There's 1 Immortal out. Make that 2 Immortals.
Okay. But 30 Lings in production.
Yeah,
the Ultras do not want to fight against these Corruptors. I guess the Corruptors fight against the War Prism. But then the Phoenix chased them away, and that base doesn't... that base did go down. Okay, so at least they killed that base. But, like, where are you with the rest of them? This is a weird game.
Yeah, there is a boatload of probes and cannons at the 4th base. Classic got him a 5th, or he's getting it up now. However, it's not mining at all. He's down to 30 probes. Like, he's dead. I think soO won this. But then again, I thought that 10 minutes ago, and he didn't close it out until now, it looks like.
Yeah, this base dying is a huge problem. Finally getting +3 melee attack. Bam, that's huge for these cracklings. So that's down, and then this base, that can't stand against an Ultra Ling comp. It's just a handful of cannons, but soO's like, nope, too scary for me.
Oh my gosh.
He decides to swing over into the natural, and I don't even know what he's doing.
In comes the Zerg once more. soO's like, you're a 4-base Protoss. Archons will slaughter the Lings, however, there is enough Zerg here just to overwhelm the Protoss.
That's it.
GG. That was the most painful win I've ever seen.
That's soO, man. He does that sometimes. He had a game against Maru in GSL recently where he had the same thing. 6,000 mineral bank, like 5,000 gas, and Maru came back and won it. It was just like soO just makes it hard on himself with huge advantages. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you about him, but he's a weird Zerg player.
I mean, he's got the lead in the series, so.
Yeah, and that's it. Painful win. I think you said it correctly. Like, he's definitely... he will win, but he won't make it look like Dark or Rogue or Serral, right? Where you're like, okay, he got the lead, and bam! He closed that door so hard on that Protoss, it looked unfair. That's not soO. It's not really what he does a lot of the time. And I just don't know if it's a lack of a killer instinct, or if he just is worried about overextending, and like he can't totally read the game state as well as some of those other Zerg players can, but it just feels like he's not quite able to take advantage of advantages that he gets. That said, he's up 2-1. So hey.
Yeah. In the top right, it's Classic.
And in the top left, it's soO.
Okay, I'm gonna lock onto your vision just for 1 minute and step away.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, there we are, back in a minute.
Okay. All right, so I think it's going to be another 16, 18, 17 here from soO. Gateway expand timing here from Classic. Throwing up the gas. After the... There we go. There we go. Got the gas here. And then saving up for a Nexus. Got the hatch block, but soO says that's okay. I'll take my second base here at the 3rd base. Location, I'm used to it by now. I've been doing this for a long time. And saturating the gas. Saving up those 400 minerals for a Nexus. There it is. A little tiny bit late, but that's okay. Cybernetics core, second gas, second pylon. In whatever order you want there, and that is how you one gate expand. Economical. You can be aggressive with it. Splitting the difference. The Zerg has no idea what you're doing when you're doing a one gate expand. Well, other than you're not two gating them, right? Or cannon rushing. But other than that, they have no idea what your strategy is. 4 lings on the way. And about 30 seconds before the third base is taken here by soO. But maybe it's going to be a 2-base. But the probe is scouting, so... Just checking to see if there's a third base here. We need to pull off gas. Yeah, pull all 3 off of gas. And 200 minerals. Drone moving out. Third base here at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. All right, very good. Got ourselves an adept on the way. Wait. There we go. Oh, finishing the shade. Fair enough. And then shading in here to see if there's an early lair or a Warren. There is not. Very good scout. Then okay. Fair enough, I guess. This adept is dead? No. Shades out with fully 20 HP. Metabolic boost done in about 5 seconds here. So don't finish this shade, adepts. The speed is done. Oh, it did finish it. Adept down. And this adept is in trouble. But maybe she can shade out. Oracle on the way on the other side of the map here from Classic. Don't finish this shade, man. Oh my gosh, you did. Alright, so in conjunction with the Oracle, this adept, yo, good opening. 3 kills before she gets destroyed. 7 drones down in conjunction with that Oracle. 2 Oracles? Yeah, 2 Oracles. Another third one on the way here. We got a Twilight Council. More gateways. Ring around the rosy there from these Zerglings. And bam. Probe down. Warp it in 2 adepts to avenge that probe. And Spore Crawler not quite finished in the natural, but there are no workers there anyway, so that's A-okay. But wow, zapping down eggs and Zerglings? Diving in, no Spore at the third base location. 2 kills and 6 kills on these 2 Oracles. Resonating Glaives again. Here from Classic, he says, I am down 2-1. So maybe Resonating Glaives again here. soO, you need to scout this, man. But I don't think you're going to.
What a great opening.
Yeah, really great opening. Yo. Okay. Blocking off with these evolution chambers and a roach warren.
Yeah, soO's taken a lot of damage leading up to this follow-up from Classic. So he's hoping for the same magic that he got in the previous game. Pushing back the creep. Using the revelation on the oracles to do so. And now, Classic hasn't warped in too many more adepts to go with this just yet, but there we see it. He's up to 13 total.
Yeah, 4 roaches on the way, but again, they're just late to the party here. Resonating Glaives finishes up. All these lings are going to evaporate. Now, fighting Queens, transfuses, keeping the Queens alive just for an extra couple seconds there. And that drone count is going up for drone deaths.
Classic took an initial fight, backed the adepts against a wall, so the Zerg wasn't able to get good surface area. He's now got a few in his third base, the majority of them in his natural. 25 workers gone down, and since adepts are pretty tanky, they're able to keep this going. They shade now towards the main base. Classic doesn't quite land the shade perfectly on top of those drones, however, he's still trading out with these roaches. He's killed 27 workers. There's more adepts coming on in, and he's targeting down more drones.
He's doing such a good job targeting drones. I guess fighting roaches a little bit here, too, which is insane. But you can kind of 3-volley down these roaches if you have enough adepts, which is crazy.
behind this, Classic is macroing up. He's not just floating minerals. He's got an Immortal on the way, 4 gateways, charge fired up. He's going to try and get a little bit more out of this, however. soO does collapse on top of the last all but one attempt.
Dude, 39. It's not 56, but it is 39.
Yeah, it's still a pretty good number for our Zerg, for our Protoss friend here. Classic does have a lot of Chrono Boost available too, so he can keep pumping those Immortals out or whatever upgrades he starts researching.
Absolutely bonkers. That's it, right? You can't recover from that.
soO seems to think so. He's not being phased by it. Like in the previous game, he's like, I lost less drones than the last match, so I'll just keep playing it out. He's doing his thing.
56.
He's like, so what if I got 6 roaches?
Oracle comes in, burns down a couple more workers just to add insult injury. And here we go. It's an, kind of a Sentry Immortal Zealot timing.
Yeah, there's a lot of sentries in here. He's just going to be able to force field for days. There's a warping, more and more zealots coming. Charge is done. Here we go.
Yeah, this is it. This is it.
GG. soO doesn't give Classic the satisfaction.
Simply does not. soO needs to work on his resonating clave defense timings here. That's 2 games in a row. Not in a row, but 2 games today he has lost.
Yeah, both the Classic's 2 wins have been the Glaive of Adepts.
It's 2 in the best, in a best of 7, in the same best of 7. That's crazy and dumb.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if soO, like, I don't think it was all the Adepts for that match. Like, they did the heavy lifting, but Classic had a really good opening there. Like, with the first couple of Adepts and then the Oracle. I think he got 7 drones. That's a bit more than Zerg wants to lose, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then it was just, yeah, supercharged Adepts.
And then soO had to drone back up, and then that murdered him because then he didn't have any. Yeah. He would have needed Ravagers for that anyway. Did not have the cash for, so. Brutal.
Okay, we're just waiting on soO's map pick for our 5th map. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in for this late night StarCraft 2, early morning if you're in Europe, or afternoon if you're in Korea.
soO is still thinking.
Yeah, maybe just screaming at the top of his lungs. After that.
Glaive Adepts are bullcrap.
Crimson Court will be our next map.
All right, let's go. Like me a good Crimson Court. Weird map, very fun. It's on the list of weird maps in the pool.
Yeah, we are effectively in a best of 3 now between these two.
Yeah, always fun in a best of 7 when it kind of shrinks down. And here we go into Crimson Court.
Okay, here we have it.
Top right, Crimson Court, Twisted's Classic.
And in the bottom left, Weeboo Gaming SOO.
SOO.
We got SOO on SOOP. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, good to have you here. I know it's kind of a weird time for our North American fans, and honestly South American fans too, but glad you could be here. A little bit of better time for our Korean players today, and they appreciate your support through the Matcherino as well.
I've been watching Ewan McGregor's, like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with, like, his motorcycle tour documentaries.
Ah.
Yeah, he's done one called A Long Way Round. That must be like 15 years old or something at this point. Where he drove from the UK to New York, I think it was.
What?
So, like, all through Russia and everything. But you mentioned South America. Now I'm watching the one where he's driving through South America. And there are some beautiful and really cool countries.
Absolutely. Very green, wonderful places, mountainous. A lot of mountains down there, certainly. Yeah, I mean, a lot of Zergs, like, Cyril especially likes to go fast Overlord speed a lot of the time in this matchup. Just get an Overlord in, see what's going on. I think that would really do SOO a lot of good and be worth it.
I agree 100%. Like, yeah, you don't want to be surprised as a Zerg. You want to check under your bed, look into the closet before you go to sleep.
Might as well keep making these oracles. They've been getting some serious value. I'd like to see SOO also throw up spores a little sooner than he has been.
What?
Yeah, what is that?
I guess just an expo block by Classic?
Yeah, but that's not a third base for anyone anyway.
Maybe not wanting... Yeah, that's so bizarre. Like, maybe just really not wanting SOO to have the rich gas. But as you said, it's not the preferred third.
By the time there's a fourth base, there will be links to shut that pylon down anyway. So I mean, he canceled it regardless. But weird thought. Being really aggressive with these adepts. I guess that's kind of the kryptonite of SOO today is the adepts. So might as well gets a drone kill.
Oh man!
And shades out of there. No big
One
deal.
adept.
8 hit points.
Okay, what will Classic do next? He's got the Oracle on the way. Will there be a Twilight next? Yes, there will be. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I know. There's nothing to change. The Oracles are going to get a bunch of kills. There are no spores in production because, heaven forbid, you start them in time. He just relies heavily on the Queens to be in the perfect position. And there we go. Fires a spore at 4 minutes instead of 3:30. It just makes it a lot harder than it needs to be. But at least he hasn't lost any drones yet. The Oracles don't seem to be even trying to dive in there. I don't know what they're waiting for. Yeah, Classic seems to like the 2 Oracle play. Hasn't been going for 3 the last couple of games. 2 is enough, he says. And once again, no spores at the third base means a dead drone.
Yeah, just one ain't too bad so far.
There you go, a couple more drones. Oracle staying
And
alive.
here come the adepts. Oh no.
Resonating glaives again. SOO, buddy. This cannot be how you die.
Oh, and there's a dead drone on the way out from those adepts. And now SOO.
Lair?
SOO is probably mind gaming himself right now. Like, okay, he's got a couple of adepts, but there's no way he's going to be going for resonating glaive adepts again.
For the 3rd time in this best of 7.
The answer to that for SOO would be scout.
And the answer would be, he's murdered you both times with it. Why wouldn't he go down that path again? This is bonkers. Once again, the Roach Warren finishes, but you only have a handful of roaches out, and it's not enough to deal with a resonating glaive.
It's like Groundhog Day.
It is.
He's making drones, not roaches. SOO. Oh my gosh.
SOO.
He's dead. Like,
yeah, that's it. He's like, oh, 1,000,000 adepts. Well, I haven't seen this recently.
I better make 2 roaches.
3. Dude, buddy. Okay,
and there's more adepts now shading in towards the 3rd, so 2 bases are not mining for the Zerg. He's like, oh, can't go there. There's drones. There's adepts there.
All of his drones are at the natural base, hilariously.
No, this is not hilarious. This is sad what's about to happen here. We've got 18 dead drones, more adepts at the 3rd base. SOO is just being played like a fiddle.
Yeah, Classic just making Immortals and Sentries back home.
He
knows he's forcing roaches out.
Next it'll be Charge he starts up. Like, it's identical to the previous game.
SOO, are you okay? Like, really? Did you fall and hit your head on something? What is this? 43, 44, 45, 46.
GG.
Okay. So, like, there's no reason for Classic not to do this again, right?
No.
Like,
If
just do it
SOO
again.
refuses to scout it, why not?
Why not? This is the weirdest best of 7. But... Alright. SOO wants Dynasty. So I guess we'll go there. Yeah, John Solo, not wrong. Who's meowing? My cat's is meowing. What do you want?
It's
I am
late.
busy.
That's what cats do.
Yeah,
Alright, dude.
true.
I already had to throw one out for climbing a chair.
Uh-huh. I generally know better than that when I'm casting, but
You've got them well trained.
pretty much. They get booted if they try to climb on the desk. Alright, SOO, buddy. Okay. All I want from him in this game is that he scouts. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for. Figure out what Classic's up to. Top right, Dynasty. Classic.
And in the bottom left, it's SOO. Give me a Cannon Rush Classic.
Nah, no need to.
Yeah, it's
Too
true.
risky.
Just go for the sure thing. Go for the adepts. Both players expanding. Dynasty is a very, very bizarre map.
Yeah, just one of the more bizarre ones in the map pool. 4 of them are nuts. Post-Youth, Crimson Court's kind of weird. Dynasty's definitely weird, and Amphion's weird. So yeah, I like it. Mix it up.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone makes use of this gold base.
It's tricky, man. I mean, I'm not saying you can't expand back there, but just asking for stalkers to show up and kill your workers, roaches to show up and kill your workers, it's bad. Classic does enjoy playing the mineral game. Oh, he's taking a break from it. Nope, he's back on it. This is good. This is a good round of the mineral game. Classic. I'm impressed. Oh, he immediately loses. That's what I get for being impressed.
And the probe gets angry and just starts taking it out on the poor drone.
Yep. God, I lost the game. Brutal stuff. Alright, so look. Cybercore into Twilight. You see, I told you. Not that it's never taken.
And yeah, I like this from Protoss, because, like, what is Zerg gonna do to punish this? Roaches can attack
mostly.
Across minerals? That's it.
Pretty
but
much.
if Protoss goes Stargate, it's like, I have Oracles or a Void Ray. Checkmate.
Right.
Thanks for playing. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this for Classic. He's not immediately transferring all his workers, they're just saturating it up.
It's a big advantage. Sue's getting a third base up the left side. Pretty normal time.
There it is.
There's the Void Ray. Which, again, good for hunting Overlords, but will protect that gold base from literally everything. So that's nice. Man, chronoing it out even. He wants that Void Ray soon.
If Classic, like, kills this Overlord...
He will.
And then throws up, like, a Twilight Council and uses the gold to make mass zealots, I would be a big fan. Okay, he does throw up the Nexus.
Alright, what's he do now that Sue's blind? He's gotta toss something up. There you go, Twilight.
Okay, charge lots or adepts.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Like, it's crazy to say, but it's true.
Like, the economy is so good for Classic compared to SOO.
Mm-hmm.
SOO's got to invest in Spore Crawlers.
Which, again, a little bit late, but it's not Oracles, so I guess he's fine.
Okay, Twilight Council finishing up.
Gate.
What do we have?
It cannot be Resonating Glaives again.
Classic says, try me.
Groundhog Day. Alright, Sue. This will be one of the most bizarre losses I have ever seen if you lose a Resonating Glaives again. The Roach Warren seems a little bit earlier this time.
Yeah.
Like, the Roach Warren's going to be done before Resonating Glaives is done. But even then, that timing doesn't work out for the Zerg.
Yeah, Sue, just please start making roaches and do not stop once this Roach Warren is done. Please. Oracle comes on in. Sue goes for 5 Overlords at a time, so he's getting ready to make roaches, but he hasn't made any yet. And the Adepts are crossing the map. There's 5 roaches on the way, so this is looking better than the previous ones, where the roaches were just starting up. But oh no, did that Void Ray just kill that hatchery?
Looks like a dead hatch.
Jeez.
I don't know that he wants the 4th hatch anyway.
Okay, we got a complete wall from Sue.
Okay, that's actually kind of incredible.
That's super important. He's now got to cancel that so he can let the rest of his defending roaches out. Try and wall that in again of the Adept's shade.
Yep.
Does he have a drone? Yes, he does.
His drones are all stacked up and stuck outside the wall.
Oh, they transfer back. They're fine. The Adepts try and break in. However, this is buying Sue time, so he's not taking as much damage yet.
Yet, the operative word here, as it gets up to 15. Oh, I think he wasted attack on the lair there. That's not good. So 21, 22, 25.
Okay, there is more roaches this time, so he is actually cleaning it up a little bit faster. Every base has been mopped up except the 2 drones in his natural.
Like, would Banelings not be better here? I just feel like Banelings are better.
Gosh. Okay, that Adept does get killed. Sue
Charge
goes
on
back
the way.
into drones. Oh my
Sentries
gosh,
and
no.
Immortals. What is this? 34, 35, 36, 37. It's 40. That's it.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if there's a magic number here, but it's definitely under 40.
The Oracle continues to utilize the Stasis Ward to deny mining.
Definition of insanity.
And here we go again. 45. 46.
46.
If StarCraft had sound effects, Classic would be getting like multi-kill, killing spree.
Yeah.
It's just horrible for soO.
I just... Like, Roach Warren basically the same time. Nothing really changed about it. Not trying anything like Banelings. Firing up some Hydras. He replaced his worker count. There are more... My gosh, there are more Adepts. 55 drones have died.
Okay, a bit of counter damage getting done. 3 dead probes.
Yay!
That's
Dude,
good.
if soO wins this, though...
I don't know.
Eat my hat.
Yeah, I think you're pretty safe saying that. Like, Roach Hydra can make miracles happen.
I was gonna say, Roach Hydra is kind of a great comp here.
Yeah, there's no Psy Storm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of roaches to buffer for the Hydras.
Yeah, if the Hydras aren't taking damage, they're dealing tons of damage.
soO's not even mining off his 4th. Doesn't have the drones to do it. He's making more roaches. That's the theme of the day. Roaches, roaches, roaches. Classic is getting ready to go for the kill move. It will be revealed as he steps onto the creep, warping in a few more units, but can soO hold on? He's got a nice concave, however there is Zealots hitting the 4th base as this goes on. That's going to force soO to segment off some units, meaning that his main force is going to be very exposed. The Roaches will deal with these Zealots, and Classic backs out with the main force.
Okay, but then...
He swings around, nicely done.
Catch dies. Nice, just pokes in, doesn't over-engage with it. Zealots are bleeding off here, but still a whole bunch of them present.
Okay, soO, he's going for the fight. Great force fields by Classic. Roaches tried to get a flank off. It's not going to happen, though. The Immortals and Archons dealing too much damage. soO is melting. And the Zerg is dead. GG Classic takes it.
Remember when I was like, yeah, man, Resonating Glaive, sometimes Zergs can die to it.
Yeah, apparently... apparently today was not soO's day when it came to defending that.
No. I'm just speechless.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted at that.
Like, dropping one map, sure. Again, you don't see it very often. It's a weird build. Zergs pretty much have a handle on it, I thought. But not anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, really. That was a stomp. We haven't had a stomp like that in a while.
No. I mean, it went 6 games. It's
It
not like
did.
It was 4-0.
It wasn't a technical stomp, but those games were brutal to watch.
But that was 4 games of Resonating Glaive Adepts.
Yeah. Literally. I wonder how many games it would take before soO starts to defend that.
It's more than 4. Maybe it's 5. We'll never know. Dude, I don't know how many people go over this tournament, but like, if soO's competing in the next GSL and has a Protoss matchup, and the Protoss doesn't just do this, I don't know what they're paying attention to.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in to the SOOP Starcraft Global number 3. We'll be back in roughly 2 weeks. It's going to be the same format, a different set of players. And yeah, congratulations to Classic for capitalizing on the strength of Resonating Glaive Adepts. Well done. And yeah, check out Falcon Paladin and I on Twitter, or I guess it's X now, on YouTube. Falcon uploads incredibly consistently, so check him out. And if you want to see some bot games, you can check out my channel.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun. Be sure to look at those. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's Classic's motto today.
All right. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. Have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Bye.